Oh my, oh my, oh shit. Oh no, we just made a big mistake. We made a big mistake. We don't care though, we're here. We're ready to rip. We don't, oh no, give me my damn lights. Give me my damn lights. There we go. The high limit hold down is on. The high limit hold down is here. Guys, there's a high limit hold down and it's happened. You hoes, yo. I can't believe it. I can't believe what we're talking about. The HOEDOWN has arrived out there in good old Cornfuck, Iowa. Oh, the HOEDOWN has occurred. Oh, in Cornfuck, Iowa. Oh, surprised. It was surprised that the Outlaws got huskered. You know, by a 3'9" with a 10-foot dick. Rico, put it up, put the HOEDOWN on them. Put the HOEDOWN on them. A hoe for show. Have y'all seen that clip? A hoe for show. Put the Husker on them with the mustard loving. You know what I'm saying? The hot dog. Oh my God. Oh my God. And ladies and gentlemen, we should have knew by the beginning of the night that the fix was in, and this is why. There's always a fix. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, we should have known from the go. Let me show y'all something. Oh, yeah, let me show y'all something. This, my ninja, right here. Hold on, where are we at? Where's this at? This is ridiculous. Look at this. Do y'all see what this is? This is a image from the passenger seat of a vehicle as the first heat race was being pushed off. And this video is being taken from this push truck by the Asiatic undercover bloodline wife of Connie Allen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, an Asian was pushing an Asian tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. Y'all are worried about tariffs. I'm worried about this shit, all right? Because Sean Allen was pushing Kyle Larson tonight. His debut as a push truck driver at the Knoxville Raceway was put. There he is. Asians pushing Asians, guys. He's even got the Chaz hat on. By the way, I love the flex fits. Best hats in the world. Long live the Chaz.com. This is Sean, the Asian, at our Knoxville establishment, our Continental. The fix is in. Look at him. He's halfway stoned. Look at his face. Does that look like a sober person? By the way, it is Happy Easter 420. We got a special surprise for you. But look at it. Y'all are worried about tariffs. Look what they're really doing to us. Look what they're really doing to us here. The fix was in from the damn jump of the night. You got the only Asian in the building pushing the only Asian behind the wheel. What is this shit? And we actually have Sean on the phone. Sean, you're there. We can't look behind you as you're drinking your Busch Lights.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here. How was it to fucking push Kyle Larson into the biggest robbery of sprint car racing?
Oh man, that was a dream come true.
Oh, it was a dream. It wasn't set up this way. It just randomly happened, huh?
Yeah.
Just as random as Caitlin running up and bumping my fist and rubbing how they beat me at the Chili Bowl. That was just, and tore banners down and no one cared. It was just so fucking random, right?
Yeah. Well, hell yeah.
You were there for that.
No.
You were there when she came in and intruded into my privacy. Yeah, okay, yeah. You're fine with it. That's fine. So anyway.
No, that was funny.
You thought it was funny? I thought calling her a fucking bitch was funny, but apparently not. But anyway, see, this is the Asian stuff. Back to tariffs. You debuted as a push truck driver tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. Is that the truth, Sean?
Yes, that's the truth. Yeah, it's my first year in being a push truck driver. I don't know. It's just something I've always wanted to do, and I had the opportunity to do it, and I jumped right on it. So,
And randomly, you, as the only Asian in the facility besides Kyle, and he's your favorite driver, you randomly got to push Kyle Larson off for your first official push-off into a racing event.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then who did you get for the main event?
No,
You better not say gravel.
Yeah,
it was gravel.
Yeah, it was gravel. Yes, it was gravel.
Wow, the fix is
I know,
in.
right?
The fix is in. Wow.
Yeah, gravel.
Okay.
I should have got a video of that. God dang it.
So was there anything different? Did you notice anybody turning traction control on while they were staging? Anything different with the 57? As you were sitting there getting ready to push him off, did you see any, or did you just turn the other cheek?
No, no. When I got behind him, I noticed he had his phone in his hand, and he was watching DIRTVision, and get up to the staging area there, and he still had his phone, and he's kind of freaking out because nobody was coming to get his phone. And the guy next to me that was pushing off Brian Brown there noticed that he's like, "Hey, somebody take my phone," you know. So, yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I probably should have, but
you're making me feel bad that I wasn't there. If that was me, I would have got out, took his phone, and put it on the front tire. That would have been so great as they pushed him away and it runs it over. Been perfect.
I would have taken a selfie.
I would have took his phone and fucking hotwired it so we can get all the dirty details, the P. Diddy scenarios that he's probably in. But regardless, what? I would have wired this shit up. Let's find out what's actually happening between him and Denny Hamlin. I'm sure it's WD-40 instead of baby oil. That's all I'm saying.
You think?
Yeah, yep. Toyota drivers, you know.
No, it's a pretty cool experience. I'm glad I'm doing it this year, and I get to do it all summer, and through nationals, 360 nationals, and all of it. So
we have had some pretty interesting things happen between me and you, Sean, and Connie with Kyle. This is different. This is different. It's like you are stimulating me,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, according to my 23andMe, I have Asiatic blood in me. So it's like 20%. So maybe there's a connection there.
Well, it might have to do the Indy 500 again.
I don't know. I want special treatment if I go back. I ain't getting treated like no infield bum like last time. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. That kind of sucked.
Yeah, we're getting special treatment by Kyle, or it ain't happening. At this point.
Let's do it.
Caitlin should apologize for how Kyle treated me at Volusia. She instigated the entire situation. Talked to several people about this. And they go, wow, so she came up and did that to you? You weren't even talking or thinking about her at all, and she just came in and intruded into your environment, antagonized you, provoked you? I said, yeah, twice. And that's exactly what happened, Sean. We weren't doing shit at Chili Bow.
That was in Volusia?
Well, Kyle was very mad at Volusia, but what she did at Chili Bow is why that whole scenario even occurred. I was provoked twice.
That was funny.
Well, I thought calling her a fucking bitch drunk at Waffle House at 3 a.m. was funny. I mean, whatever. I thought she was being one.
No, she's just poking fun at you because she knows.
Okay.
She knows how to get to underneath your skin.
Right. Yeah. Well, she lives on her lavish love boat of a lifestyle while I'm driving around in my car trying to stand up for the integrity of the sport, put my life on the line. She's just making fun and pointing fun and poking at that. Yeah. I get it. I get how elitists think. Yeah. Anyway. Sore subject. All right. Well, we'll keep you on the phone for some topics, Sean. Usually you're in the background, but the one clip that was going around was Danny Dietrich. Did you see this where he got out of his car and helped Kel Thomas out of the vehicle?
Yes.
All of a sudden, he's the best person in the world.
Well, Well, I mean, love him or hate him, I mean, he did the right thing.
He did do the right thing. He did do the and the biggest thing out of this clip that I took away from it was how fast he got out of the car. He's a big dude, you know. It looked like the damn car was having a baby or something. It was giving birth. It was just like spit out this big blue thing, like a Smurf or something. And yeah, he ran over there all fast and stuff. I thought it was cool, but it is weird. Like when I get it in my own mind that Danny Dietrich is kind of this bigger dude in sprint car racing, you know. But then when I was at Volution, he was standing there. It's like this guy's like about the same height as me. Like why do I feel like he's big? But that's just how small some of these other drivers are, you know.
Well, Rico, I mean.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother subject. You ain't got to bring up Rico. We're talking about like Gravels and Larsons and all these little people, you know.
Huh.
Okay, next subject.
You're a hot topic over at Dingus right now.
Who said this?
It's in chat, I guess.
Oh, what are they? They're all watching the Chaz now. Okay, that's just great. So now they know that you pushed off. You know, now they know all this. Now they know we're making fun of Danny Dietrich looking like a Smurf birth here on the side of the turn 3 of Williams Grove as he's trying to help a poor innocent victim. Now I'm the biggest asshole in the world. And then here's what I want to talk about before we get into this high limit World of Outlaws situation. There's two things I wanted to talk about that are outside of high limit whooping the World of Outlaws fucking ass. And I think it's important that it was at Knoxville. I'm going to make that point as well. But there's two things. I don't know if you watched it tonight or not, Sean, but the World of Outlaws did do like a free practice hot lap or, you know, kind of DIRTVision broadcast. And when you go look at the numbers, in an hour, they barely had 72. And this is a shocker for most, and most people should pay attention to this, because I've always paid attention about the popularity of the sport. On YouTube, they could only get 2,000 live viewers, Sean, for free DIRTVision content. Free. Practice and qualifying at Knoxville with all the high limit, with Kyle Larson, with the World of Outlaws. They could only get 2,000 people to watch it live. That's it. And on Facebook, in an hour, they could only get 7.2 thousand people to watch it for free. So we barely have 10,000 people willing to watch this sport for free. Barely. Now, obviously, these are not the subscribed members. Obviously, the subscribed people are watching it on their apps more than likely. I have a subscription to DIRTVision, but I did watch these, but I watched it for the numbers. I hope that DIRTVision or somebody with DIRTVision or the World Racing Group is doing this same type of research. Or once again, this is why they're not where they should be, because they're not paying attention to growth and disbursement of the sport. So while I was watching this, I sent these pictures to a group we got, and unfortunately, Sean, Spike is in this group. Okay. And Spike makes a good point. He goes, oh, they could only get 2,000 fucking people to watch it on YouTube. And I guess how many are those 2,000 people that will barely watch it for free on YouTube about to drop $400 fucking dollars to watch the rest of the night? Who's going to do that? You know, and it makes a really good point. And Flow released how they're going to do this free Flow Vision or whatever. And they did a night already where it's a whole night for free on YouTube. And I was thinking that instead of these preview shots, this is how I think that DIRTVision and Flow and all these streaming companies could instantly start selling subscriptions, because I don't think this is going to do it. This is a failed idea. A lot of people do it. It fails. It sucks. It's horrible. We got the numbers here in front of us. It doesn't work. But I think a way that you could turn free products into sellable products, I don't think the full night idea like Flow is smart. That's kind of them just saying, we have $100 million. Fuck you, DIRTVision. So they give it away for free. And they know DIRTVision don't have that type of money to lose. But I do think that you could do away. Listen to this. Let me get all the way through this. I think the new structure of how DIRTVision in particular should operate to get new subscribers. Trash the YouTube highlights until at least the next day. Get the fuck away from releasing your YouTube highlights that night of. because people who don't want to buy it just don't fucking buy it, and then they tune into the highlights, and it's, y'all post them 15 minutes after the fucking race is over, dude. I mean, why do I need it, for the casual person? So you have to lead them on. It's almost like my previous relationship, Sean. You have to lead them on, and then you take away at the end. Here's what I'm saying. I think that DIRTVision, I'm going to say almost for every one of these races, the entire Outlaw late model sprint car, all their broadcasts, I think they should do it for free all night long until the A main. Do it for free. All night long until maybe even the B main. Cut it off at the B or something. But if you could give these niblets to new people and get them, because I'm not really invested in the night if I watch practice and qualifying. I don't know what else is going to happen. Who knows? But if I sit here and invest enough time to see the practice and the qualifying and then the heat races, like, oh shit, Larson's going to be up front. Oh my, this guy's I like him. He's going to be on the, and then they say, all right, guys, well, if you want to watch the A main, you have to buy a subscription. Buy. Well, now you may be a little more adapt to buying the subscription because you've already invested half your night into seeing the end of the movie.
Right.
Now I want to see the end of the movie. I've already watched half of it. You're going to take it away? Fuck you. $400, bitch. You know what I mean? Or $40. I think you could buy a month of DIRTVision for $40. So I think that is a better sellable product, and I think that you could do that and not piss off the current subscribers because the current subscribers are going to get the full night already.
Right. But what's that cost DIRTVision to put something like that on for free?
A click of a button. To do this is a click of the button to send it out. It don't take no production value out.
Really?
No, this is a click of a button to put their shit on Facebook and YouTube. It's a click of a button.
Well, hell, that's the best idea I've heard yet.
I mean, I'm just thinking of ways to take people who don't have a subscription, maybe new people, get them invested, and then take what they're investing into away unless they put up $40.
Right.
I mean, that to me, that's the best way you could grow it.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I mean, if you're looking at it subscription-wise.
I don't think any of these hot laps or qualified deals do it, period.
No.
You have to get the viewer invested. You have to get them into the plot line of the movie. This is just the opening credits.
Yeah. You got to get them into the heat races and really watch the action.
Get them. I would say get it all the way through the dash. Cut it right after the dash.
Yep.
B mains, A mains still left. You know how the front 4 rows or 3 rows are going to start. Cut that shit right after the dash. You got to buy DIRTVision. Here's the links.
Or just wait till the next day to watch it for free.
What? Well, yeah. You said, or just wait to watch it for free. And that's why I would say you have to move the highlights away from after the race. You can't do that. You gotta move those highlights at least to the next day.
Right.
But
people, I talk to a lot of people that don't have Flow or DIRTVision, and they're into the racing, but they just can't afford the subscriptions and stuff. But yeah, they watch the highlights and shit the day after, and that's obviously not the whole night, but
well, DIRTVision and Flow are still making money on those highlights.
Oh,
I mean, they're making money, but it ain't the money they could make if they were selling subscriptions. And these live broadcasts as well can make money as well.
Right.
So I mean, I just see it. I'm trying to think of ways to involve the sport. I'm trying to think of ways to expand the current state. I just think that is a really good way on how to do it. I know that the ads keep popping up. We're trying to change it up a little bit to where the ads don't continually pop up. We'll run through the next. I feel like I'm missing you, Sean. So this is a topic I'm going to get a little heated about.
Okay.
Just a little heated about. and I don't know if you saw this, Sean, but these jump starts on the beginning of these fucking heat races with the World of Outlaws gotta fucking stop. I can't remember the particular heat race, and I think it was the 5500 Schoenberg. I know it fucking was his ass. But he's got the best fucking circle around him to pull some dickhead shit off like this, so it makes perfect sense to drive with this level of arrogance. I don't think Hunter's bad. I think, hey, you are the birds of the flock. You start acting and clucking like them. But he legit. Now, last week, the same shit happened in a heat race at I-55 where the six, what's his, I've already forgot his name because he's irrelevant. Zach Clampton or something? Hampton. That's it.
Zach Hampton?
Yeah, Hampton, that guy. He jumped the fucking start in like a whole row. And then somebody commented, well, if the leader goes, Chaz, then everybody can fucking go. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I went and watched this. Okay, the leader went, and right as the leader moved a little bit, Zach Hampton jumped the whole fucking row. Okay, cool. Tonight, though, was not that same fucking case. That fucking 5500 Schoenberg jumped the whole fucking row. The leader hadn't went already. The leader went as he jumped the whole row. He stayed in it and then slammed it in the side of the six. I don't know if it was Caleb Johnson. You know the ones, it's like a team car. I don't know who the two are. The six are, it's a Knoxville car, I believe. Those sixes that run there at Knoxville all the time. Do you know which one it is? I know Caleb Johnson's running one of them. What's the other guy? There's two of them.
I'm not sure who the other one is.
Whoever it is, you who are watching this right now, you know for a fact that a guy who started 3 rows or 2 rows behind you was slamming you into the infield pretty fucking much before you even got to the start-finish line. I don't know why they're letting this shit go. I know they've let it go with little instances of jumping with like David Gravel and shit. That's fine at the front. Fine, you're privileged, get privileged, you know, the whole crank triggers and all this other shit. I'm simply saying, I've watched 2 weeks straight where there are people who are deep in the field. Somehow they're, platinum drivers that get away with this. Ho, somehow the cheek just fucking turns. Last week was Zach Hampton. This week was Hunter Schoenberg. There's people at the back of the field jumping full fucking rows, running into cars now. Like, I thought they were going to yellow the race and, like, tell the 55 to go to the pits. Like, it was the most egregious jump of a start I've seen in my professional motorsports coverage and career. I've never seen it that fucking bad. I wish I had the DIRTVision on my shit so I could go and watch it. Whoever's watching, go to the replay, the full replay. Go to the heat races and watch that fucking 55 jump that heat race. It is egregious. I cannot believe he wasn't DQ'd for the night because that's a safety issue. I thought he was about to literally flip that fucking 6 car. I told you I was going to get heated. Do you know what? Have you seen this shit, Sean?
I didn't see it, but I've been watching on TV, and all that, but yeah, there's some calls or some starts there that they should have been called back.
I'm looking at the comments in the chat. Apparently nobody knows what I'm talking about. That's fine. I do I have my DIRTVision full replay on the phone? I'll pull this shit up right now, Sean. I ain't fucking around. I'm tired of this shit. I saw it 2 weeks in a row. It's always these platinum drivers. Rapid replay, fucking DIRTVision. Anyways, I ain't searching a 5-hour broadcast for that disgustingness. We are going to go to the topic at hand. And this is it,
What's
Sean.
the topic? What's the topic tonight?
Post made on Facebook about 29 minutes ago. It says an awesome high limit race at Knoxville tonight.
Oh.
And it's just the high limit hoe train. Now, we can't talk about this. We can't legitimately talk about this on 420. It is 420. It has just changed. We're talking about high limits because that's what the people who don't know how to pronunciate say, the high limits. And it is Easter. It is 420. And we had to, ladies and gentlemen, we got the FBKDs here, the Rainbow Sherbet. It's on now, Sean.
Let's go.
We're getting legally high to talk about the high limits on 420 on Easter. Lay the egg, Sean. Lay the egg.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Hopefully Tony Stewart ain't watching this. This could ruin my Kevin Ward Jr. discussion. Golly. Anyway. Legal? Oh, God. This could go bad.
Oh, boy.
We got to get high to talk about the high limit, Sean. There's a new Cheech and Chong movie coming out. Keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Do. You remember that part with the you ain't going to get mad at me, Sean. Are we still friends after this?
No. Go ahead.
What do you mean, go ahead? It's burning me.
Burn
it up. This is burning it down. Look at that stuff. It's like getting all, it's got like sugar coating the dill or something. It's all sweet and shit. What are they doing with stuff nowadays? It's so gummy. It's got like a cut in the paper or something, I guess. You can't really hit it. It's like you got, when you get a cigarette, you put a hole in it,
Yeah.
That's kind of how it's hidden, which is good. I don't need to smoke too much of it. I treat it like a cigarette. I'm definitely gonna be high limits. I'm gonna be pushing them all in tonight, But anyway, awesome race, high limits. Oh wait, we don't want. Oh, that's the one that's gonna put us down. High limit showed up tonight, Sean. They showed up tonight. Sunshine as well. I don't really count Tyler Courtney as an individual in motorsports, but he did hit the top 5. I'm not talking about as far as top 5 good-looking women in the sport, but he did hit the top 5 as far as finishing position tonight. And then Rico came in here with his wine car and won, Sean. He beat him. Rico Abreu, Tyler Courtney, Aaron Reitzel, and Kyle Larson, of course, in second, which, by the way, Kyle Larson should have lost that race by a way larger margin, but Rico lost 2 seconds in 2 laps, Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, Rico made some big fucking errors in the last 2 laps of that race.
Yeah, he did.
I'd almost say 3.
Larson did 1 too. I think he 1 and 2 there. He got a little deep into the berm there and on the bottom and kind of upset the car a little bit. But
so how much do you think this matters, Sean? I mean, for the year, the Outlaws have pretty much handled high limits ass. Pretty much. I-55 Saturday, they shined a little bit. Obviously, down at Volusia, it was more so a Chris Bell Larson show with the Outlaws. Brad Sweet poked his nose in there a little bit, but everybody else from High Limit really didn't show up extremely well down at Volusia. Since then, because people don't like to count Volusia, we had the I-55 meet where Friday they got their asses handed to them. Saturday, that wasn't the case. They kind of showed respectably there with Rico. And then we come here now, and High Limit 41 minutes ago, or it was right after the show. This was a screenshot, probably an hour and 41 minutes ago. They're on Facebook bragging about it. They are on Facebook right now, literally bragging about running for the top 5. I mean, High Limit is promoting on this shit. The Outlaws seem to be quiet. They don't want to mention High Limit. We're too fucking big hoo-hoo to even say what they are type shit. Which is the typical attitude, which is why we're here, I think, with another series. That kind of attitude is what breeds rebellion. And this is the Rebellion series due to that attitude. But here's what I'm saying, because I do think still the Outlaws are consistently better than the High Limit roster. I still think that. I was going to start the night with saying, when they compare the two as far as like who's got the big names, you always hear them say, when you take Gravel and Macedo and Selzy, and they always kind of leave out Logan Schuchart. And I was thinking, if you threw Logan Schuchart on the high limit tour. I think he's a instant upfront guy every week. Like, right? I mean,
Definitely.
and he's not that in the world, in most people's mind. Well, a lot of people thought he was going to win the championship for the last 3 years. He goes ghost to start the season. He's actually starting the season very good this year because he usually is a mid-season to end season strong runner. It's usually the beginning of the year where he kind of has a slump when people are high on him, and then they're like, well, damn, and then he comes on. But this year he's running strong to start the year, and maybe he could be a contender. He went up to second in the point standings tonight because of Macedo's situation. But even a guy like Schuhart, I think he could throw over there, and he's top up front, you know? Selzy,
Right.
I think if you put Sheldon over there, which Sheldon ain't really doing that great, but if you put him in the high-limit roster, he don't have to really do that great to run top 5, I don't think. And I think that's where that gap is. You got too many guys who are up there on Brad Sweet's level in the World of Outlaws on a consistent basis. But I think that this sport is so in the dark. We saw that with the stands tonight. Empty as fuck, it looked like to me. Maybe not all the way for you, Sean, but it looked kind of empty, which is another reason why I think my going live all night on Facebook or YouTube could help the tracks and people come to the facility, especially if you broadcast those in the region. People can be like, oh my God, I didn't know that's happening. But regardless, I think that the Knoxville Raceway and Knoxville Nationals bring more eyes than most year racing events. Like, I think tonight was probably one of the largest streaming viewed races, maybe outside of Volusia, of the year, you know, because it was the first high limit outlaw meet, and it was also at Knoxville. So just how all the drivers want to race there and they think they're special, I think the viewing audience of dirt racing and those interested in dirt racing pay attention to what Knoxville does, especially when it's a World of Outlaw event. So I think that even though on a consistent basis, 90% of the schedule, I think that the World of Outlaws would push the high limit guys outside the top 5 90% of the time. If the high limit roster can do damage at big events like Knoxville, or these events that get that type of attention and clout, that it can publicly look like high limits, the superior series, because of their performances at Knoxville in particular against the World of Outlaws.
Correct.
And that's not good. It's not fair. It's not right. But once again, I argued the other week. I said, guys, you think that you can't make a series look better than another based on the skills. And it's like, NASCAR, we know, don't have the skill sets of our dirt racers across the board. But they're projected as the NFL, and we're looked at as flag football by most people. So it's not very hard to convince most people that high limit is superior with the World of Outlaws if you provide small little snippets of examples of superiority. This is what NASCAR does with Kyle Larson, period. That's how they make people think that we're a AAA flag football league, because he's graduated to the pros of them. And then that's why they only show clippets of when he beats us, because it reinstills all of them are just lower level guys. Every time he tries to go play with them, it's for charity. Look at how bad he beats them. When he runs 10th, though, you don't hear about it because it ruins that idea.
Right.
This is marketing. Convincing people. Marketing is manipulation. Every time I say this to salesmen, they're like, oh, yeah, you know, it's 100%. Yeah. So we're talking about the marketing of these two series, because marketing is what's going to win this fucking thing. I think the race right now for sprint car superiority, it ain't even on the fucking track. The race for sprint car superiority is not on the track.
It's the players.
It's the players. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's what's happening on the track, though. I don't think it's the players. That's my point. The race for sprint car superiority is the one who's going to market themselves to the unknowing public the best, the fastest. That's who's going to win. Because the public, we could look at the population of Des Moines, Iowa, and I guarantee you there's 30,000 people there. There's 40 times the amount of people within an hour from the Knoxville sprint car capital of the world that could fill that fucking arena easily for the cheap amount of $40. Oh my God, so expensive. They're paying $30 to park and go to a fucking concert for $250. The regular people, $40, that's cheap. Wow. I only got to spend $300 to take my family to an event. I usually spend $1,000.
I thought the stands tonight were, I mean, it wasn't a sellout by any means, but for the weather conditions and stuff, I mean,
each race team's $500,000 of an operation.
Right.
You had 63 teams. You had $30 million of race cars at a facility. Some of the best drivers, including one of the best drivers in the world ever that y'all agree with, and you can't get 30,000 people out of multiple hundreds to care or to attend. Whoever can win that's what I mean. This is marketing. Whoever can win that, whoever can figure out, how do I make this bigger and actually does it, is going to win. Period. F1 figured out how. Now, I don't think this Dirt Season 2 thing is going to work. That Flo's doing, where it's basically F1 Part 2. I think it's going to help a little bit. But F1 figured out something that nobody else had really done outside the USC. They used a damn Netflix documentary series and took over the youth of America. Like the 18 to 25 F1 fans to NASCAR, it's like 15, 20 million that are F1 fans in that age range, and it's like 100,000 who are NASCAR. So that's the future that's coming. No one cares about NASCAR in this new age that's coming because F1 figured out how to break that code. I think you could do the same style of things with our dirt racing. It is more exciting. It's way better. It's a way better product. Me and Tony Stewart talked about this. He agrees. I mean, in a way. But I think that there is a code to that. I don't know how that is. If I was Kyle Larson, I would be begging your sponsor, Logan Paul, to put Jake in a sprint car for just one race. He's already joked and said he wanted to go to NASCAR, and he rethought that. But, hey, put him in a sprint car, bro. You get Jake Paul to a sprint car race, you instantly just, crack that code overnight. Pay him some money. Let him come and do it for fun. That's how you expose yourself to millions of people instantly. That's why I thought Brad and Kyle could maybe crack this code to go somewhere because of Kyle's connections to be able to do that. Maybe getting some actual attention to the sport from that society that's around us, that if it respected it, knew about it, enjoyed it, you would have had a full crowd tonight at Knoxville, no questions asked. No questions asked. It's one of the cheapest entertainment things in the whole entire sports entertainment world.
Yeah.
I know we bitch about it because we're in that older era of people. Without the 35 to 44, your whole entire place would have been empty. Would have been no one there to push the trucks. Would have been no one there, to work the facility. That's the whole sport is extinct if you remove the 30 and up age groups.
So how do you get the younger crowd in?
You got to try some shit. Do some F1 stuff. Get Jake Paul in a sprint car. Do something. You can't tell me they're not there. I'm looking at them. People are there. I'm looking at numbers.
Maybe not get them in a car, but just make an appearance. Maybe
do think something.
That would. Try something.
Try. That's what I'm saying. Like when they ended the year, I said this to Brad. When y'all ended the year at Texas Motor Speedway, why didn't you have one of the Dallas Cowboy football players being like the Grand Marshal or something?
Right.
Why? You're telling me Kyle, with all his fucking pull, can't find a way to get with somebody from the Dallas Cowboys and maybe have a fucking backup wide receiver come out to the track? Or something. Tony Romo, what are you doing? You're retired.
Who gives about Tony Romo?
The fucking world at least knows what it is. More people know about Tony Romo than a fucking sprint car in Knoxville.
Yeah, true.
What are we doing? Nobody's in there yelling at these people. The little cliques get in. Here's what happens. This is the problem with the sport. Tell you right now, I think this is why Tony says I have a pulse on the sport. Because he's seen it at the NASCAR level, I believe. I don't know. He's never told me this. What happens in this sport is the people who end up running it end up hiring people who tell them yes. These are people not by their own fault. They've worked very hard their whole career. They've been told no. They get into a position of power, and now they want to be told fucking yes. It's resentment-based. And then they develop friends with the people who say yes all the time. Now, those friends may not be so nice to them behind their back, for the record. But in this little clique, everybody is a yes man. Some people have some power to speak up. And maybe they're not even just all yes men. Maybe they're just all buddies. At the end of the day, these people who end up running these organizations are a big fucking little clique. They're buddies. They're a buddy group. They're a little group of buddies that tell everybody what to do. A clique, a mafia. You know,
Yep.
Barry Brown with XR in 2021, when he did all that shit at Bristol, I talked to him about doing sprint cars because I just came in there. I lit the place up with all the content that I did. But I was like, what about sprint cars? Let's do sprint cars. He's going to do 50K late miles. He goes, oh, no, that's a mafia. Because of how that sprint car world operates, especially with the Outlaws being on top. I mean, they're barely able to think about doing high-limit racing because they had the pool with Kyle. You know, but prior to that, if you weren't in this clique, I mean, we saw how deep the clique has its tentacles, the octopus's brain to the legs that tentacle down. You know, we saw that, oh, why couldn't high-limit race at that track? Oh, well, they're an outlaw track. Oh, why didn't High Limit go to the World of Outlaws or go to Wisconsin last year? Oh, that group. You know, so this is what I'm saying. This is that buddy system. And when you get into these buddy systems, and those are the people who are making the decisions, even on a high limit scale, I think that's where shit I'm talking about. Nobody's jumping anyone's ass. Everybody's getting their paycheck. Everyone's living a good life, and they don't want to speak up to nobody because they know there isn't too many other jobs out there that can pay them like they're getting paid right now. So they're saying yes to the master, so they keep getting their food and shelter every day.
Right.
Ain't nobody in these positions that are making a good living in the dirt track racing world about to threaten that shit by telling the truth to somebody.
It's who can flex the most.
Yeah. If you're somebody in any of these positions besides Kyle and Brad, and maybe even outside of Kyle, if you're in any of these positions and you try to tell Kyle Larson what's wrong, what do you think's gonna happen?
He ain't gonna care.
How low? You sure? You gonna tell Kyle and Brad what's wrong with your series and how you're doing it and what you should do? You think that this is that your job security is fine? That's what you think?
Well,
I think they're going to find somebody else who tells them what they want to hear, because that's what people in those positions like.
Right.
This is a fun thing. It's a hobby, man. We're just trying what we can. So that's what I think. I think these buddy systems and these cliques develop a yes man system, and there could be things that are different, but they all avoid them. And I'll tell you this, I'm saying this because I know a bunch of them that are up in there that don't agree with what they tell the people above them. And that's not just high limit. That could be, I'm just saying. Never mind, I talk too much. We got the devil's lettuce in us now. That forked tongue's coming out, Sean. I'm about to get in trouble tonight. And then I get this text. Watch what you say. You're on the TV at Dingus. I wonder if they're lying, bro. I better not be on no TV at Dingus. Am I really getting played through the speakers at Dingus? That would be hilarious. They need to hear the truth. Fuck them. Fuck you, Dingus.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Fuck you, Dingus. Yeah, we're on the Dingus TVs. He's probably fucking with me. He's trying to get me all. Oh, everybody's watching. I don't give a fuck if they're watching. Kyle, Caitlin was being a fucking bitch to me that night, all right? And I said it, drunk as hell, in a Waffle House at 3 a.m. Shit fucking goes down at 3 a.m. at Waffle House. You ever seen that one video with the black chick? She was kind of hot. Oh, God, Sean, I need you in person. This delay, I don't know what's wrong with your phone, but you're not making sense to me.
Are you sure about that?
But no, I think too many people get in positions where they make money in the sport finally, and they don't want to jeopardize that shit by talking about what could be done better, or what to do here, or what to do there. I think everybody just stays quiet, keeps their job. I know people on both sides that do this. Yeah, I could be saying this. Yeah, I could be saying that. But, man, I'm enjoying my life doing what I'm doing out here on the road. I get to meet all these people. I get to have this fun. I get paid. I got this insurance. I got that. This is a great job. I don't really want to fuck all that up over this or that or whatever, even though this or that could be something that's important to the sport, but their life, they love it.
But you mentioning the code, though, I mean, that might open some eyes for some people.
Well, and I ain't just said this to you. Like I said, I talked to Brad about what's up with why you ain't got, if you're going to end the year at Texas Motor Speedway, or here, we're coming up, Texas Motor Speedway. Why don't you got somebody who's a, high draft pick or something like that coming up in, is that after the NFL draft? I think it might be they're coming, or is it the same weekend as the draft? Like, why not have the new Dallas Cowboys pick up there waving a checker flag or something, or green, or whatever? Do some shit that's in the public's eyes. I get it. You're trying to make money on the old people who buy your merch and fucking who have a Flow subscription and blah, blah, blah. I get that you're sucking the fucking Social Security checks dry out of these older people. I get it. But you got to find a way to get out into the world, man. And that's why I said this whole discussion is spurred based on the race for the dominance in sprint car racing isn't based on what's happening on the track. It's going to be who can do whatever that is the best and the fastest. That's who's going to win.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm just bull rushing you, Sean. I'm a piece of shit. This weed did it to me. Blame the fake weed. Is it even weed? I don't even think it is. What does this say? It says organic, non-GMO. I'm not making this up. It says exotic blend. Oh, no. Compliant. It is 0.3% 49-THC. What does that even mean, Sean? It says lab 9%. Tested. And then the best words you could ever hear, extremely potent. No, I'm just playing. But it's rainbow sherbet. And that's why it's all sticky, because it's got like sugar around the cone that tastes like rainbow sherbet.
Really?
Yeah, that's why it all gummed up, all sugary, and was hard to hit. See, it's got that's all like sugar-coated rainbow sherbet flavored thing. Yeah. I'm not bringing it up there to you, Sean. Don't ask me to transport drugs across state lines, legal or not. I have a feeling it would be very illegal to take one of these and transport it to your push truck so that you could smoke it while you push off Kyle Larson like you're fucking,
No. We won't.
Like instead of Cheech and Chong, it's Ching and Chinko or something. I don't fucking know. I mean,
we won't do that at the track.
I just can't believe that the only Asian people in the fucking building were like that far. I can't believe the audacity. That was your reward for. I don't know what you've done lately in life, Sean. Maybe it's because you helped me have a place to stay and was there for me through the whole shit and all the stuff. And that was like your reward for being there for me or something. It wasn't, God will rain down on your track and flood your facility like Houston's. It was the other way around. It's like you were there for the truth teller of the Chaz, Sean. And it was like, here, you want to do the push truck? Great, Sean. And then what does Sean want the most out of all the things you could have thought of, Sean, that you want the most out of your idea to push cars off at Knoxville? First race of the night. You got Kyle Larson.
That was awesome.
That you got to understand how rare that is. That is God shit, That is God shit.
I even said, wouldn't it be cool if you get to push Kyle? And it happened.
Well, and that's not astrology and all these other witchcraft things like your other girl that you watch would say, or in the moons and shit. That's God.
Oh. Kelly, yeah.
Yeah. She would probably say, well, that's because the moon was waving a star or something. No, she's demonic. All astrology is demonic at its core. All of it.
I tested it.
Oh, God. Or did your prayers get answered by the creator of the entire fucking thing around us? Or is the Matrix real? Because, I mean, those things, something happened there, Sean. Something happened is what I'm saying.
Kyle Larson is God. He's God in my eyes.
Well, then that is why you're going to hell. But the devil does reward you sometimes. Maybe this was supposed to happen so that I could convince you that it was God, so you can leave the devil of worshiping Kyle. I am curious, because this is one of my issues with Kyle, because what you're saying is true. I find it very depressing and sad. There are people who worship Kyle Larson like he is an actual God. I wonder if he's okay with that or not. I wonder if he thinks that's bad. I don't know about Kyle's religious views. He has to think it's something that's on his side, because his career path came with too many aligned stars, to get where he's at. If he don't get in a car at 14, he just stays. He's running, cycle land carts until he's 16 or 18. He's maybe a Comacito or something. He would have been really great, but he would have been too old to go to NASCAR if he doesn't get those rides at that young of an age. So, I mean, he's got to believe in some kind of system or some higher power. I'm curious if he likes it or not. That there are people.
Maybe you should ask him next time you see him.
I mean, this could be possible. I don't know. I really don't want to see him. He was extremely rude at Volusia, and I cried after he said what he said to me. So I did. Ask him. He saw me crying. I made sure he saw the tears.
Oh.
Like you were when you pushed Kyle?
When I pushed Kyle. I didn't push Kyle. I never touched Kyle.
When I pushed him, I about had a tear in my eye.
Yes, it was very similar. Just the other side of the emotion. The flip side of the scenario.
Yeah.
If you may say. But I don't know. I think, honestly, I was thinking about this. The Tony Stewart show is so good. It's like, how do you top that? I think the next best show like that to top it, the only one that could top it would be Kyle.
It would.
That'd be the only one that could top it. And that would probably honestly, think about this, out of all the years and all the buildup, if there was ever a Kyle Larson, the Chaz podcast, a 3-hour one, that might break the dirt track internet. That would be big. That would, not just for me, but that would destroy all of them, dude.
Oh yeah, that would be,
yeah. Go ahead.
That would be awesome.
Make it happen.
Think about the numbers on that. I mean, that would break fucking shit. Who's not going to watch that?
Right now, even in NASCAR, I mean, he's getting, seems like it anyway, he's getting more exposure, in NASCAR than he has last year and probably the year before. But, yeah,
I'm not even worried about his NASCAR audience. I'm not worried at all.
No,
I don't know how that relates,
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to compare apples.
I'm talking about. I don't care about the normal people that would watch it. The dirt people that would watch it, like Mark Richards is tuning in. Like every dirt racing driver on the West Coast and the Outlaws and High Limits tuning in. Like everyone's watching that show if that happens. Everyone. Brian Carter's tuning in. Everyone's watching that.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Ricky Thornton Jr., Bobby Pierce, they're watching that. I'm just saying, in the dirt racing world, the biggest podcast that could happen right now is the Chaz and Kyle Larson. That's bigger. That's the only one bigger than Tony Stewart because of the history as well. But I have questions I have questions for Kyle, just like I had questions for Tony and why people enjoyed him. I have questions and thoughts for Kyle that I don't think he's comfortable in answering. And I don't think people have asked him. And I don't think they're rude questions. I just think when people stick a phone in front of Kyle Larson's face to interview him, they don't say this verbally, but they say this in their head. They go, "Oh, will you do an interview with me?" Yeah, sure. And their fucking mind just shifts. They're like, "Oh, fuck, I'm going to talk to Kyle. I'm going to get to talk." This is just like most of the people when they're starting in a heat race with Kyle. Oh, my God, I'm going to be on the track with them. They don't want to beat him. They don't want to beat him. They just want to make sure he likes me. So they pull out their fucking phone and they go to interview Kyle, and their questions are like, the paraphrase for the questions is, will you please like me? Will you please like me? Can I touch your penis? You know, they just want him to love me. They don't care about anything he has to really say. Oh, the car was good. Nobody gives a fuck how the car handled. Who the fuck cares how the car was? No one gives a damn about how the car handled. You wanted it or whatever. That's all they care about. They don't. Well, it was a little tight. Who gives a fuck? Like, let's ask some real questions. The only time we got a real answer question with Kyle was my interview at Knoxville a few years ago, and that was one of the biggest interviews of the entire year. 70,000 views, and was posted all over the country because he got his panties in a wad when I asked him a real question about the scheduling with Lincoln Park against Jackson. You remember that interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I asked him a sincere question. He got all fucking mad, and then Caitlin had to come in and save him. I mean, that's in the video, too. But I always got along with Caitlin. I'm kind of hurt with my Caitlin relationship right now, although I don't know how it is. I thought it was funny. I don't know how this is anymore. But
she loves you.
I don't know. It was very strong. I don't know where it's at now. I don't shoot the messenger, but very distraught for the Dingus Lounge that is watching, apparently. Oh no. Oh, then he hasn't sent a picture, so maybe he's lying. He hasn't sent a picture. So, yeah, I think that would be potentially the only interview that could outdo the Tony Stewart one. That's the only one out there right now. But outside of that, who? I mean, who?
Are you wanting to get down and personal with him? With questions and whatnot?
Yeah, in some extent, yes, especially when he was coming up.
I wonder if he would open up, and be more transparent.
We'll see.
I mean, he's in the position now where you would think he would,
Now, obviously, the Tony Stewart interview didn't. It didn't. I mean, it did okay here on YouTube. I think the full 3-hour episode got like 10K. But all the other clips, the 10-minute clips, I mean, we got like over almost 3 million views out of all the clips on all the platforms with that Tony Stewart interview.
I thought the Tony Stewart interview was fucking just. I mean, it was good. It was really good.
Right. I mean, some people keep saying I talk over them or like let your interviewer speak. My issue and the reason my shit actually sells and it is raw and authentic is because I'm not talking to these people like they're some superior being. Some of you fans view them this way, and you would be just like that interviewer. Y'all view them as some superior being. I view these people as like normal. If I'm on the phone with somebody and I'm talking to them and they say something and I think I have something to say about what they just said, I speak up and say, but here's what I think. And that's how conversations are. Conversations are what A thinks and B thinks. You people commenting are commenters. You're the C. You're C. This is an A-B conversation. See yourself out of it. You just watch, bitch. Don't be telling me how I talk to A. I ain't be telling A how to talk to B, but in a conversation, both people are talking what both people think is valued. So when some people say I cut them off, and there are some times when I run, and especially if I'm drinking or if I don't know, I'll start running over sometimes. But most of the time when I'm having a conversation, regardless, I try to keep it engaged. It isn't necessarily interview style where I'm just sitting there saying, how was your breakfast this morning? And then they explain how their breakfast was. And then when they're done explaining how their breakfast was finished, so then how was your lunch? No. That's fucking boring fucking, Connor Wade shit. It's not what we're doing here. Which, by the way, I heard Connor Wade was very rude to some fans at I-55. I don't know that for a fact, hearsay, but I heard he was very rude. She comes across as that guy. It's like he's so fake on the camera. It's like, who is he off of it? You don't really feel the personality.
He's no. Who's the guy
maybe he's wrong. Maybe the guy was wrong, but I just heard he was very rude. But regardless.
Oh. No, I think the raw interviews are what people want to hear.
Right. Yeah, well, and to be and have raw interviews, you can't be speaking to a person as if they're a form of superiority. I can't think Kyle Larson's a god to have a legitimate conversation interview with him.
Well, you certainly don't have that. Well, I mean, I guess the interviewer would be maybe I'm trying to think of the word, like you would lock up and don't know what to say to him, or you gotta walk on eggshells when you're talking to somebody. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the thing that Kyle's people would have a problem with is, they're more in this NASCAR manufactured world, so they're always trying to paint the perfect pictures. Well, I think if Trump ain't an example, the perfect pictures don't sell anymore. People don't want to watch perfect pictures. They want to watch authentic ones. They want to watch real ones.
Yeah. Yep.
They're done with the fake fucking smiles and the injected lips and the Brazilian butt lifts. Maybe that's cool on fucking TikTok, but us guys are looking at it like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Oh, well, we want the guy with the money. Okay, well, if you with the guy with the money and that whatever you're looking like is attractive, y'all deserve y'all's shitty pieces of self. Go and be happy with y'all's pieces of shit examples of how to be a human. But out here in the real world, we want all this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you were just about ready to say, the authenticity. I mean, that's what this world needs right now.
Well, and that's what got voted for.
Right.
As much as Trump may be a fucking douchebag, at least if he is a douchebag, fuck it, at least he is. These other motherfuckers are coming on stage, smiling, saying I love you, and we got proof that they're fucking us behind our backs.
Right. Yeah.
So even if this guy is a douchebag and he's going to halfway fuck me, at least he's telling me to my face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it couldn't be no more true than that.
We're done with this fucking fake smile. How are you doing? Love you. Bye. And then go talk shit about me behind my back.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck your eyebrows if they look nice. The titties are big, but damn, I'm done with that.
Yeah, it couldn't be no more true than what you just said there.
It's that simple.
Yeah. It's got to be anymore. People are fucking done with the sugarcoating bullshit.
Unbelievable. We're turning to the chat. I know everybody loves the chat. You're still on the line, though, Sean, right? You're breaking up. I don't know why you're breaking up. It's weird.
I'm still here.
Somehow the chat is talking about Riley Goodnow. Oh, God.
Hey, Goodnow made the show.
Yeah, that's true. Very impressive. Somebody said part of the talking over is the delay in the phone over the internet. It can't be helped. Other times, it's just Chaz being that guy. Well, thank you for... Oh, my God. I was going to say thank you for the comment, and then another comment popped up. Sean, you got to take this one over. You got to take this one up, because Broke Joe is rolling in the floor laughing right now. You got more to say about this than me, Sean. You got way more to say than me. I got to piss. I got to piss right now. Uncle Colin 69 said, "How about Tanner Holmes?" You know, oh my God. Answer that, Sean. I gotta pee. I can't answer that. You're the Tanner Holmes. He sucked tonight, Sean. He fucking sucked, and Broke Joe was right. I gotta piss.
Bro.
Well, I mean, yeah, Tanner didn't make the A main, but they're trying some stuff and just trying to find some speed and get the balance of the car right.
He's a good kid.
He's a good kid. The whole Holmes family is a good family. Uncle Colin 69 is joke, bro.
No.
Oh no.
But maybe tell him that Tanner might come back.
Well, Tanner's supposed to be running Hobstadt, I think, next weekend. And if the weather isn't looking too great out that way, he's going to be running Knoxville again this next weekend. So we might see him here in Knoxville this next weekend.
What's the beer count at? 2.
Beer count.
Somebody asked, "What's the beer count at?" 2. Not the weed, but the extremely potent TH49-THC. We've had 3 puffs of that and 2 beers and 3 on the edge of 3.
I'm just slowing down.
What's just happening? What happened?
Oh, Connie said you're slowing down. You need to pick up your beer intake.
I need to pick my. Well, these are 16 ounces though. That is different.
Oh, you're dumb.
Shut the hell up, Sean. So what did you say about Tanner Holmes? Because I feel like, where did he finish tonight? Do we know where Tanner Holmes finished?
He didn't make it out of the B. I don't know where he finished in the B.
We'll step it up another. We'll step it up another notch there just for Connie. We'll light a cigarette. Oh, that's for Connie right there.
What happened to the vapes? Did
we still got a vape. We still got a vape.
I was gonna say, did broke Joe get you talked out of the fucking vape stuff?
Actually, I don't know. This is not good advertisement for pro weed people, but I don't know where the vape is when I lost it. So, oh, there it is. There it is. It was in the weirdest spot. That was not weed's fault. I found my vape. I couldn't find the vape, so I was like, all right, we'll just light one up for Connie.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, don't watch the show, Sean. Watch me. But the show on the phone's like 20 seconds behind. So
the shots really that was surprising. He didn't do as good as that I thought he would. But
right. Well, the Chevy, the qualifying track was very weird. Okay. The qualifying track dropped a lot in both sessions from the beginning to the end. If you didn't go out early in either one of those, you were fucked.
Yeah.
I think the only one who overcome it was Kerry Matson. Here's the full race results of the entire night. Abreu won, Larson second, Courtney third. Who's some other ones that were very impressive? Let's just see where Tanner Holmes. Actually, let's go to the qualifying because qualifying was everything. I remember on flight A, Rico was at a 15.202, and then I think it was like after the 15th car, the only guy to get into the 5s was Kerry Matson. I mean, you got some guys who are up here qualified that are good. They're good. By the way, outside of High Limit, Kyle Larson, and World of Outlaw drivers, the next highest odds on betting was Ryan Timms for some reason. I don't know why these betting people think Ryan Timms is going to – I mean, he could compete, but they had him above Rico. Rico Abreu, by the way, was plus 5,000 to win the race tonight.
What?
Rico Abreu was plus – I think it was 53.40.
Wow.
If you made a $10 bet on Rico Abreu to win tonight, what is that, 5,000 or 500?
500.
$500. If you made a $100 bet or $50 bet, you would have won $2,500 on Rico tonight.
That shit here in Iowa.
The only place you can bet the actual odds, like I can do the pick 'em of if they're going to finish higher or lower, like most people. The only place you could do the odds, I believe, oddly enough, is Oregon, Ontario, and then I think Brazil for some reason. But that's it. Like, you can't bet on the odds. Let's see here. Let's see here. I want to get the truth on that. High limit racing, gambling, how to bet. All right, let's see here. This is actually a good little side topic, to be honest. Let's see here. NXT High Limit Racing. Trying to find out where you can actually do the bets. Frequently asked, where's the one that it shows where you place your bets? Affiliated sportsbook. See, it doesn't say it here. But I think it's only like 3 places in the world that you can actually bet on the actual odds. And I think that's why it's illegal in Iowa and PA, because that's how you bet on everything. It's all odd based. It's not that pick'em shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Still, though, I mean, I would still be able to make some bets here in Iowa.
Let's see here. Oregon. I know Oregon is, I believe Oregon's the only United States place that you can do it.
Connie says it's because of Tanner.
Let's see here. I can't find that information, but you can't do the odds in too many spots. Regardless, let's go over here to Tanner Holmes and find out where he ended up. I thought Austin McCarl did really well. And something that's weird to me, I feel like Austin McCarl and Emerson Axum are almost like the same people. Not in like looks or anything, but Austin McCarl's basically ran the entire high limit tour, but he's not a high limit driver. And Emerson Axum is basically he's run every outlaw race, but he's not a world outlaw driver. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they're the same in a way. Like those are to me, Austin McCarl, I don't know if you're watching it, Dingus, you're a high limit driver to me. Emerson Axum, you're a world outlaw driver to me. You've been at every one of the races. I mean, I don't know why they're on the fence. Just collect the money and do it. But JJ Hickle.
Well, didn't Emerson Axum commit to?
I don't believe so. No.
I thought he committed and then backed out.
So Tanner Holmes went. No, that's not what happened. Tanner Holmes went 15th to 13th in the B main. Wow, Kevin Thomas Jr. was there, and I didn't even know it, Sean.
I guess.
Landon Crawley was there, and I didn't really even know it, Sean. Which is this year with Landon adding justification to our I wouldn't even say criticism last year, but our questioning of his ability. I mean, it ain't looked good this year, but
no. I mean, he definitely did it a lot better in the sides car.
Yeah, and they were blaming the sides car. That's the funny part, but
yeah, I don't know what's going on this year with him, but
so in the heat race, Tanner Holmes went from 10th to 9th. Qualifying was once again everything. Where did he end up going in qualifying? 21T, 19th. He was 17th out. So that was a big deal. But people who out-qualified after he went out, better than him, these are guys who qualified better than him after going out after him. Chase Randall, Carson Macedo, Ayrton Jennington, Parker Price Miller, and Kerry Matson. Now, in his defense, and this is my defense for Tanner Holmes people, and my defense to Broke Joes of the world, who just want to hate on him like he's a fucking bum because he's got popularity. Here are the guys he out-qualified that went out before him. Zach Hampton, Kyle Bellum, Sawyer Phillips. Now, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Here's the guys he out-qualified that went out, he was right there. Sheldon went out right before him, for example, at 16. Sheldon went a 15.642. He went a 15.650. Now, I'm curious. Could we have an honest debate with Broke Joe and saying who's better, Sheldon or Tanner Holmes? The results say they're right next to one another here in qualifying. You know,
maybe you need to get Broke Joe on the phone.
Broke Joe don't answer the phone for me.
Huh?
We don't
want to talk to you no more.
We smoked the devil's lettuce. We're drinking beer. Smoked a cigarette. You think he's gonna answer? I ain't even ate food yet. We're fucked.
You don't want to watch fat people eat.
He was like, "Oh, we're doing this football, basketball deal." I was like, "Well, I got this 9-to-5 job. I can't go anywhere now, Joe." I told him. I said, "What do you?" Somebody asked me, "Are you in Knoxville tonight?" In the little group that's all Broke Joe supporters, Spike and all them. I was like, "No, I work 9 to 5. I don't get to go to events. I don't get to live. What do you mean? I work. That's all I do."
Spike is a Broke Joe supporter now.
Oh, dude. Spike would. I think he might have already flew out to California and sucked Broke Joe's dick at this point.
RayVaughn.com.
Oh, he's a fucking dude. I got a new shirt. Did you see my shirt that I got coming in? Oh, dude, I got a shirt. It's yellow. I got the pink late model Princess shirt on right now, which is a beautiful shirt. Late model Princess. We'll show you the. Obviously, we got the Ginger Kitty. I got to get a Ginger Kitty shirt. Did you like the Ginger Kitty, Sean? The Ginger Kitty was beautiful. It looks best on the stone blue to me. But that is a beautiful shirt right there, ladies and gentlemen. Ginger Kitty. Dingus, if you're watching, go check it out. LongLiveTheChaz.com. Ginger Kitty Racing.
Ginger Kitty.
Hey, man, that was a great. Here's a late model Princess shirt. I got the pink, but the sky blue is the best. Oh, that sky blue is beautiful. She looks good right there, man. It's a nice shirt, nice quality. Looks beautiful on the light pink. I just wanted something different, but the sky blue looks so hot. Oh, they got another color in here called army green or military green. Oh my, this military green. Look at this. Come on. Where are you at? Right there.
Now, who's this late model Princess again? I can't remember.
The late model Princess, my ex thought it was about her, but no, it was actually about, there is a chick, I can't name her name now. We were set up to basically do something last year. It was right after Eagle or before. You were on the phone with me. Or no, I was riding with you at Eagle when that girl and me were on the phone. Remember when I was telling you about that girl? And I was showing you the picture.
Remember.
Yeah, and I told you me and her were going to like do this deal at Eldora where I was going to run up, she's going to slap me, and then we were going to make out and fuck like... Anyway, I can't say it like that. But regardless, you remember me telling you about this story?
Yeah.
And showing you pictures and all this stuff. That's what the song was about. So it was supposed to like lead up to this thing that never happened because she, as all women do, they fell for the money. It's fine. I mean, when you're looking as stout as she looked, I mean, it was very special. It was very special. It was good, and I was all excited, so I was giddy with my shirt here. But yeah, that's who the late model Princess was, and she looked very similar to her, actually. What was I trying to show here? I was trying to show the Ravon shirt. There it is. So you remember when me and Raven, which is my buddy's name, we went after Broke Joe that night. We started singing and shit. So there it is, the Waylon Ravon shirt. It actually is the same. My buddy who was sitting here with the guitar playing while we were singing on the show, somebody went and did one of those Chat GPT like action figure things. And I was like, that is beautiful. And his name is Raven. It's the Ravon with Broke Joe's Ravon lettering. But it's Waylon Ravon III with a fucking guitar and a deal, and it just looks beautiful. And I did get the yellow on this. I thought the yellow was beautiful. That will be the next shirt you see on the show. Is that not good? Is that not good, Sean?
That is good.
We need to get one with. We need to get one made with the spider and the Trump, dude. That intro was like the best intro in world wrestling history. But that's the new shirt on the and it's funny how Broke Joe is kind of like a part of this because Ravon's been a sponsor here. Broke Joe, I mean, he ain't sent me money in like a year or whatever. No, he sent me some like 3 months ago. But Ravon, that's how you spell it. So I mean, why not get extracurricular with your, advertising and make a guy with a fucking guitar as the thing. But I think it looks nice. I mean, you could do it in any color, but I like that yellow. How that yellow popped on there, I thought that was beautiful. You're going to be seeing this shirt very soon, Sean. Do you approve or no?
Yeah, I like it.
Now, what we have to come out with next is some kind of shirt that has to do with your push truck and Kyle Larson.
Oh, boy.
Do you know what Cody Jacobs calls Kyle Larson? Cody Jacobs, he obviously calls, Brad Sweet the Ginger Kitty, right?
Right.
Guess what he calls Kyle?
I don't know.
It does have to do with his Asian bloodline. It's not extremely disrespectful. Like, Ginger Kitty's not really disrespectful. It's funny as fuck, right?
Right. Funny, yeah.
He calls him the Panda Express.
Panda Express.
He calls Kyle Larson the Panda Express, guys. Cody Jacobs calls Kyle Larson the Panda Express.
Oh, no.
When he said, good. Yeah, it is. That is gold. Why is Connie in the comments saying we all love the Holmes family?
Yes, we do.
We do.
Why, though? That's what Broke Joe wants to know. Why, Sean?
They're down to earth.
Everybody's down to earth. Do you see anybody fucking taking off in a fake spaceship like Katy Perry? We're all down to fucking earth.
Well, that's all bullshit there.
Well, but I'm just, it's the biggest fakery. It proves the earth is flat. Did you see the shit about the fucking moon and shit on that deal?
Whoa.
Did you see? Oh, dude, there's a video. Hold on. We're switching subjects a big way. Oh my God, I didn't know that was Tanner Holmes and now going to the moon with Katy Perry. Hold on. We're finding this shit. By the way, there is a picture out there of Triple H kissing Shawn Michaels. I sent that to Spike because he said he was at home watching WrestleMania. I told him, I said, that's what Spike likes right there. That wrestling, kissing man shit right there. That's what Spike's into. That's why he went and did what he did with Broke Joe.
That's all fake. That's all fake shit.
Right here, dude. No.
Nobody's buying a Katy Perry and then went to space.
I'm turning the volume up on this. All right. Listen to this. Look. Watch this video, guys. Watch.
To space in. Hey, what's going to protect them from the harsh conditions of space? Oh. Look, first problem I noticed. I have to tell you, look at the moon. Look at that itty bitty tiny.
Hold on. I need y'all to see this. This is the part that's like, oh my God, it really is fake. I don't know. Hey, first of all, we got to set the fucking tone here. We got to set the fucking tone of what we're actually seeing. I know, like I said, we're switching subjects in a very quick way. The tone of the scenario here is you got Katy Perry, who I know us as poor regular people, we don't think that she's shit. She's like, ever since her Dark Horse song and Chained to the Rhythm, I don't know what happened. Who gives a fuck? But she used to be thick with some nice ass and titties, and then she fucked her whole life up. But did some alterations and shit's what I'm saying. They did this with Amazon. Jeff Bezos, that thing y'all order all your... Oh, I love Amazon. He get my little deals. The guy who owns all that shit apparently spent all this fucking money to put a dildo on the into the sky. That's what it looked like. Look, that's about what my penis is shaped is at a 6-inch level. But, this is circumcised. I'm not. But what I want to say is, the guy who owns Amazon, literally, apparently, the guy who owns all this shit with Katy Perry, American Idol, who's up there with Blake Shelton and all these, what's his name, Luke Bryan up there. These people are believed as like real people. They get into the ship that's shaped like my penis at a 6-inch degree, and they went to the sky to this level of degree. Hold on. They went up here. Hold on. We're about to show y'all something that's going to blow your fucking mind. Hold on. Where's it at? Where's it at? Hold on. Let me get my... There. They go. There we go. Look. So they go this high in the air with the owner of Amazon, Katy Perry, is up here talking right now. And I'm about to let you hear what they're talking about, but I'm just setting the setting, all right? So this is as believable as COVID or something. Like, I get it. The right-wingers, the Trump supporters, our little bitty idiot people, we don't believe, certain things about COVID. But there's a lot of millions of billions of people who really believe in it. We're the minority thinking that COVID was some bullshit. You got to understand that. The majority of the world believed it was real and still does. In America, it's 50-50, but go to France. Go to these other countries, parts of the world, Asia. They believe it was real.
It's bullshit.
I'm just sitting here saying I'm trying to set the setting for you of how small-minded we are and how we believe. That's what I'm saying. So, in the same aspect of how that is, how we're sitting here looking at this video that I'm about to explain, that's going to probably blow your mind. The other people the France people, all these COVID people, they believe this was 100% real. Why? Because you got Katy Perry, respectable on-TV person. You have Jeff Bezos, the people you're buying your cheaper shit from instead of going and supporting a local business, and that's why they're going out of it. The business that COVID made richer, Amazon, because they shut down all your local businesses, and you got to go to them. Think about that for your resources. It's a resource war. Regardless, all of these scenarios, the majority of the people believe that this shit that happened the other day was 100% real. Now, if these people would see a video like this, they would be like, that don't make no sense. And this is what's it scares me. It's like, holy fuck, man. I mean, I've already looked into it, so I know better. But we have this penis-shaped deal that's now with an extra small condom. And now I feel very insecure. I don't know what. I got to drink and do some more drugs to deal with myself and pass out and forget reality. Drugs, as far as the weed, I do consider weed a drug, I guess, because the white people tell me who want to maybe give me money. We're gonna push play and listen to the rest of this after I set the tone of how serious this is. Now let's continue. All right, we're listening, Sean. We're listening. We'll be right back. It's only 2 minutes long. Let's continue. I might pause throughout. We'll see.
Look, first problem I noticed. I don't have to tell you, look at the moon. Look at that itty-bitty tiny moon. No one thought to check the time and date and find out that the moon would be on the other side of the globe. They're launching from here and somehow seeing the moon from all the way over there? ChatGPT, is that possible?
If we assume that the Earth is a globe, then if you travel straight up from New Mexico at 9:30 a.m. on April 14th, 2025, the Earth will block your view of the moon because it's on the opposite side of the planet. No matter how high you go, whether in a plane or in space, you won't be able to see the moon unless you're far enough above the Earth's curvature and in the right position relative to the moon's location.
It's like it's local and just...
Do you see what we just said here, Sean?
Yep.
Do you see what just happened here?
Yeah.
I can hear my voice in the background, so I'm trying to hear myself finish the sentence before I keep talking. I respect myself, not you, Sean. That's the point. But it is saying, which apparently, according to ChatGPT, is a fact. It's the leader of the world. Very soon, if y'all let Elon, because both sides have their demons, if y'all let Elon keep on tricking y'all into thinking he's a good guy, he probably is some aspects. But there was a lot of people in heaven who were good people, and they got casted out. Regardless, this is showing you that when they went into this Earth orbit area, because they didn't go all the way through or whatever y'all's excuse is, Katy Perry, Jeff Bezos, and everyone you know in the real world, once again, the people outside this dirt world don't know what a sprint car is. Those people, they believe that she's telling the truth. And these people aren't looking at facts. They're looking at what their celebrity icons tell them are facts. Just like with COVID. What's the facts? Tell me. I'm a sheep. We're talking about the sheep. Now, the scary part about this, if they went into low orbit, let's just say they did. Let's believe the system that COVID's real, like people believe enough to shut your fucking life down. You know, I talk to people in Australia. I talk to people across this globe, apparently, according to this map. I mean, it's sunny over here. It was dark over there. So that's the other side of the globe. So actually, where this diagram is located is right over Australia. So I've literally been at least halfway around the world. When I talk to people about, and I did this on a train ride, it took about an hour and a half to go from downtown Sydney to Albany Park. And I was in a train, and I ended up having a large discussion with multiple people. One was Australian native. One was there from some Pacific Island area. Another one was a black guy. Another one was an Indian dude. We got into like this big hour and a half. I would say probably an hour solid, good conversation in a silent car, by the way. So they have carts that you can talk in Australia. And then in some of the train carts, you can't talk. They're called silent carts. So we were talking for an hour in a silent cart. And no one stopped us or said, please quiet down. That's how good this conversation was. It was good. I spurred some shit. And one of the main things, the reason I think it went as well as it went is because right out the get-go, I said, you know, the bigger problem here is we ain't forgot. And they go, what do you mean? I said, this fucking system shut our fucking lives down, buddy. Told us we can't go outside. And if you come over here and you tell me I can't go outside, and these are even people who believed in it, let's just say. If you tell me I can't go outside and then the truth comes out that was a bunch of bullshit, there's a lot of resentment that this system has built right now. Because there's a lot of people out here that have looked into the research after it's all went down in the COVID era and are really fucking mad. You know, even our disbelievers, even the ones who believed it and now are getting supplied evidence, that's why they're mad at Trump or anybody who comes out with the evidence, because it's destroying what they believed in. It's like the people who sided with the COVID situation, it's like you were married to it, and now you're going to tell me my wife cheated on me? No way. They're still telling me they didn't. You know what I'm saying? It's the same concept. It's the exact same concept. Because there's no way you dove into something that deep and committed to sticking shit in your body. You went that committed with something in life to literally putting shit into your system. They're married to it. And now the truth's coming out that it was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Where did COVID go? Oh, Russia attacked Ukraine and it went away. Y'all not remember? Am I the only? And I said this on the train. This is funny. Am I the only one that remembered that you can't go outside because of COVID one day? Russia, Ukraine happened and then COVID went away.
Yeah, that's true.
What? So, the reason I'm able to speak on this is because I've researched this shit. This is where I get so animated with politicians and media and marketing and manipulation, because I went and researched, why did that happen? I don't just get mad at why it happened. I want to know, how did that trick just work? Because that's magic. That's magic to convince that amount of people that something was real, and then in 3 days' time period, it goes away, and everyone who believed in it, all of a sudden, they still do. or they switch to the next subject. You know, it's like,
Yep.
how good, I mean, in an arrogant way, how good are you? What made that happen? I still think that's right, but how fucking slick of a hand do you have to pull that off? And that's when I went and researched marketing. When people stop paying attention to watching CNN and Fox News and politicians and government, when that attention went from COVID to Ukraine, Russia, it all, just like Broke Joe would say right now, so you're telling me it's about the money.
Damn right it was.
So you're telling me it's about the money. Because we're talking about politicians. The big difference between CNN and Fox and ESP and FS1 Sports is, even though the majority of us in the slave class, which is what I've always been in, even if you work 9 to 5 or not, you're still part of that slave class. The most richest people you know, by the way, the people who own these race cars, race teams, tracks, businesses, multi-billionaires, they're a part of the slave class too, when I'm saying this. You know, we're all part of the slave class. Because we had to abide by us in the slave class, though. We love sports. No matter how rich you are, you love sports. I know billionaires who love sports. More than anything, they don't pay attention to politics. But the difference there, that politician can do to you versus what that football player can do to you is night and day. That politician makes a decision or can convince you that a decision is better than another and gain your vote. That's worth way more than any Super Bowl you could imagine. So that's why FS1 and ESPN is way different from CNN and Fox News. Because they're actually controlling the eyes and the minds and the attention of the decision makers, which is the voter. Which, if you believe in God, you believe in oaths, there is some authenticity to the voting system. But there's always crooks in every game, and I don't think one side's as moralistic as the other. So, end of the day, what I'm saying here is I think there's a lot of games going on. And I think that the trust in the system is definitely not very high. And I think the rulers know this. When I say the rulers, I'm talking about the people who fund these systems, because that's why the viewership matters. As powerful as these broadcasting companies are, because they control your mind, got to understand that no matter what's true and what's false, if CNN and Fox News comes out tomorrow and says the Chaz, this YouTube podcaster, the Chaz, killed 2 people last night and is going to prison forever or whatever, you're going to believe it whether it fucking happened or not. You get that? Like, that's going to be the believable statement. That's how much power these entities have. But they operate on money. And that's why they do what their money tells them to do. Pharmaceutical industries own our country because they own the advertisements. All you got to really do when you want to know who runs what we think, at least, go look at all the ads, no matter what pharmaceutical industry it is, no matter what fast food industry it is, no matter what lawyer, what insurance company. You go look at these fucking ads on television in today's society, and you could pretty much tentacle your way back to who runs everything that you think since the day you were born. We've learned that our diets and everything we were taught was a lie. But who paid the money to tell us that it was true? Who did that? The food. Oh, the food industry did that. Oh, so who would benefit from us eating the wrong way or living the wrong way? Oh, well, we need medical or drugs or something, right? Oh, diabetic medicines. Oh, autism awareness. You just saw how, what is it, 1 in 16 kids in California being born and raised have autism now? How is this happening? Autism didn't exist 40 years ago. Oh, okay, so the bad food's going to lead me to medical assistance. It's going to lead me to a drug. How am I going to pay for all this? Insurance companies. Oh, we're going to come in here and make sure you pay for a bunch of shit for the rest of your life in case something happens. And then when something happens, we might cover you, but we might not. Did you have pre-existing conditions? Oh, you drank a beer? That's how you have liver cancer. Sorry, we got to take your coverage away. You didn't get checked in early enough. Oh, you didn't have the pre-scan. Oh, well, that makes you liable because you didn't go to the free pre-scan that we had in your insurance policy. So since you didn't go to the pre-scans and you have a post-scan cancer in your cells, we can't cover you like we would our normal clientele. And then it's like, holy fuck. There's the system. So if you really want to know who runs it, and by the way, the car industry only, and I know somebody say, oh, there's Ford and Chevy commercials. The car industry is the worst one. They're making a product that no one can sell. No one can afford these cars. Oh, but the banks can loan them. Oh, yeah, there's the other industry. What industry in the world right now do you know that they pump out new shit every year that nobody's buying?
No.
Let's not say nobody, but I'll tell you what, when I go to these new car lots, they maybe sell 5 or 10 a week, but they got 200 on the floor. They ain't selling all these cars. So what industry do you know produces millions and millions and millions of things and only sells hundreds of thousands of them, and they continually spend and make more hundreds of millions and only sell more hundreds of thousands? They continually do it. This is why saving the car companies was the biggest joke in the world. But the car companies control the insurance. The car companies are needed to transport people. We don't have logical public transportation like other countries. We are locked, technically, in a car transfer facility. So, for instance, Sean, if Iowa was set up like Sydney or Perth, I could get on a train in Knoxville and go to Des Moines. Faster sometimes than your car.
Right.
So we don't, and I could also get on a train and go from your place to Minneapolis for $4. Like, we don't have systems that depend. It's all about dependency and resources. And then that's how you have your credit industry. So these situations, these 4 or 5 scenarios, what is that? Food and drug, medical, insurance, automotive, credit, these 4, 5, 6 industries. I mean, we could get to the real estate, but the real estate works on the backs of the creditors and the banks. So we already know that they're controlled entities. I mean, do you really want to look into who owns? Now, this is the funny part when you start going deeper. Who owns these industries? Hospitals weren't always owned. That's a relatively new thing. Hospitals, if you think about it.
Right.
That's new. Hospitals are new. That's a 100-year invention. Hospitals. To the degree we have them today, especially. Who owns that hospital? Who started owning those? Who's the lineage? Okay, that guy owns that. Okay, so who owns the food industries? Oh, they've been around for a long time. Oh, damn, those slave owners, they couldn't have slaves anymore, but they didn't get poor. You know how rich the fucking plantation owners were back in the day? Just because the laws changed don't mean they lost all their money. So go look into who owns the food industries. Regardless, banks own them as well if they didn't sell out after the war. So, okay, so who owns that? Food, medical, they're owned. Who owns the insurance? Oh, fuck. These are the same people who own the other two. Okay, this little group. Wow, this little buddy says, who owns the creditors? Oh, the banks. You don't have to go very far. Oh, and here's the good one. All these industries are the main financial supporters to every fucking single politician ever. Whether directly by the bank's name, or the credit, or the insurance, or the oil company, or the food industry, or the medical industry, every fucking one of them. So who really runs shit? So you're telling me it's about the money. Who owns the fucking money, Sean? Who's those people? Now, then you start researching that, and then you start having weird shit happen in your life, and then you start talking shit about them all day long and race chasing, because fuck them. I ain't living in your system. I'm living in mine. When you find out, because these fucking politicians, this TV telling you what is and ain't no fucking reality to it. Look at this fucking image on your screen, Sean. This motherfucking system I just pointed out is telling you this is real. They're telling you that Katy Perry's looking at the fucking moon, when the moon's on the other side of the globe, Earth. Or is it flat? How else are you fucking seeing the moon? Let's just say the video's real. She's up there in the top of the half dome or shelled Earth. Are we riding on the back of a turtle, Sean? Are we riding on the back of a turtle? In the ocean somewhere? Because that's where the moon is. So let's just say this system's true. Here's the results.
Yeah.
Once you go find out who's telling you this, that's when shit fucking happens. But most people don't do that. The show's very entertaining, Sean. I mean, politics is great. It's fucking awesome. Football's awesome. The Coliseum's great. Caesar's awesome. You know, Caesar was in politics, you know. All these people we know are political figures in their time. Even Jesus was a part of fighting the politicians of his day. Of his day, that is. Who's above them? Who's the one telling, who runs all this shit? Go look up. You can look at, I mean, I ain't just Rothschilds and Rockefellers. Most people think that, Rothschilds, Rockefellers. Oh, no. Because once you find people who don't believe in money as the goal of their life, and the decision makers of how they operate day in and day out, then you start trying to understand, why do they make their decisions? How do the people who own all the money in the world operate, think, and function, and have motivation to do anything if they don't need money? Then you start looking into religion. What do they actually believe? Because most people do everything they do based on the belief of money. In reality, most of the time, people will trade their entire moralistic foundation for money. Whether that's an OnlyFans girl, a better job with money, whatever that can break your base level loyalty. Say you work for a guy for 10 years and He's paid you $50,000, but some big company wants to give you $400,000 or $500,000. Oh, you don't want to do it? We'll give you $2 million a year to come over here and be a diesel mechanic. How much does it cost for you to trade in your loyalty? There's a number. So when we deal with the society that doesn't even think that way, why and how do they think? This is where it gets to the scary levels, Sean. This is when you get to the flat earth dimension. This is where you get to the global cabals. This is where you get to extremism in the worst possible ways. And it's based on those groups. Now, what I'm saying, this is my only hope in God, Sean, is that God's in control and somebody in that group ain't as bad as the other. And that's why I would call it possibly the greatest Freemasonic symbolism of all in a movie title, 50 Shades of Grey. Because all of them are in on the cabal or the situation or causing this shit that we're seeing on our screen. But there's got to be some that are worse than others. Some are closer to the light, some are closer to the dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't all be bad, all these people running shit. But they ain't on your screen. They're not these Trumps. They're not your Putins. They're not your Xi Jinpings. They're not your... these people don't run shit. Shit at all. None of them run a damn thing, and they know it. They know where they at. They made a deal. They're going down in history. They're going to be very, very important in this story that's being told. But the motherfuckers running it, you ain't never heard of them. Never heard their names. They ain't in the show. They're the directors of that shit. You don't know who they are.
So them are the people that are going down? That Trump's going to take down? Or
Kind of the
Elon?
globe.
No. Trump's 100% a part of it. Trump's 100% a part of the situation. Is he on the brighter side or the darker side? I'm not sure yet. I think he might be closer to the lighter side, the brighter side, but he's in on it. He already knows. He's playing his role. He's going to go down in history. He's made his trade. He is a part of human history. He'll be known forever. He sold his soul. He doesn't have a soul. I'll say that. He sold his soul for a role. Is that a good role or a bad role? I think it's on the good role side. But he sold it. It's done.
Aren't most of them that way, though?
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Yeah, I think he's on the lighter side of the 50 Shades of Grey. All right, I got to pee. I need the YouTube chat to call me nut job and whatever. We got to go. You'll never own a house. Okay, Brett Fisher. We're going to be talking about this, Sean. I have me and Brett. Can you stay up longer, Sean, or has Connie told you have to go to bed?
Bed's the weekend.
Okay, all right. I'll be right back. We're talking to Brett. We have a big issue here.
Oh.
He's from Australia, Sean, and he's trying to sleep in your backyard. Tell him. Tell him, Brett.
You going to sleep in my backyard, huh? Hey. I assume so. That's
Oh my God, where you at? Hold on, what happened when I was gone? Are you there? Hello? I don't know why the delay is as bad as it is, Sean. You're. It's like when you speak, it's like not coming through all the way. Are you there or no? What the fuck? Do we need to call Broke Joe? I mean, I feel like he's hung up. Yeah, he did hang up. Let's see. Hold on. Or did my shit hang up? Did I just... Oh, that's loud. Hello.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay,
Yo.
you're here. So we have to... No, I think we reached a time limit or something. Yeah, it says 2:05. So I think every 2 hours it kind of freezes up. So Brett Fisher, do you remember that guy? I think I told you about him where he fucking had the Chaz Down Under fucking sign and he held it and we drunk all that beer, that Carlton Dry.
Yeah.
So this Brett Fisher is the guy who owns that. So listen to this. This is going to be breaking news. Brett Fisher is from Australia. Him and his buddy have already booked flights to come to America. Him and his buddy also want to spend about $10,000 on buying a motor home that they can get here in and drive around the country in and go to a bunch of different races. Are you listening,
Okay.
Sean? And whatever it is, they want me to purchase it, and it will be my vehicle that when they go back to Australia that I can use to travel the country and go to shows in.
Well, there you go.
They also want to stay with us at Knoxville week at Sean's house. And he's already sold his yard to John Bruner, which we can have a wrestling match over this, Sean. Me and John can fight in the front yard, and you can film it for this fucking spot. Because I don't know what we're buying, but he's coming, and we got to buy it. And I'm trying to hide it from the government as well. You know, I mean, why should I have to buy a fucking motorhome and then tell you why I need insurance on it? Because I heard a bad story about I was down here in Dallas, Sean, and women love me. I don't know why, but I ran into a girl at the bar, and she's a stripper. And she was telling me in some pillow talk scenario, obviously. She was telling me how one year she made all this money in tips, and she went out and bought a Maserati and had to take it back. And I'm like, why'd you have to take it back? She said, because the IRS. I said, why? She said, when I went to go get insurance, the fucking insurance, she said she was only reporting so much a year as what she was making and spending.
Right.
And then when she got a Maserati for $450,000, she went to get insurance, and the insurers run that shit to see how much money you got to be qualified to be insured at the level. And that's when it triggered. Her agency said saved her because it was like a soft run, I guess her agent did, because she was worried about it. And it showed that if they would have did a hard run, like just pulling the idea of trying to, because the insurance was going to be like $2,500 a month, you know, on a $450,000 car. And if she did that, that would have been like not a red flag to the IRS, but definitely a yellow. And she would have been like potentially extremely fucked. So I'm worried about getting this motorhome and going to register it and fucking, you know, say Brett and their buddies send me $10,000, $11,000. I go and buy this shit with cash. And then I go and try to register it. They're like, well, where did you come up with 11,000, bitch? Like, how do you explain that?
I don't know. Man, I don't know. I don't know much about that side.
I mean, it ain't a lot of money, 10 or 11,000 if you think about it, but it is.
Yeah.
You know, last year I got stiff with like $10,000 or $20,000 in taxes I shouldn't have had to pay, and I'm still paying on that shit last year. So I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking, it's a scary proposition. I go to get this deal, it's a dream come true, and then bam, fucks you. You know.
Well, if you're always on the run, though, I mean, they ain't never going to catch you.
Did you just say that as an option? I don't do shit illegally, Sean. I'm not the illegal type. I wasn't kidding when I said I mow around ant piles in the yard. I know you and you're a devil. You're a devil, Sean. You run right through them and kill their ant pile and ruin all their fucking work. It took them like 10 years to build that ant pile, and you destroyed it. You're a piece of shit. You don't respect the ant people.
I run right over.
You don't respect the ants, and you're going to pay for it, Sean. Kyle Larson's no longer going to be available to be pushed.
Didn't we just buy some ant killer today?
Yeah, we just bought some ant killer today.
Okay, so when they fucking drop a nuke on us, then it's justified.
Well,
it's justified because if you'll nuke the whole fucking ant people, then why not nuke the fucking humans?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Imagine if our natives rode up on us and saw us just fucking killing ants and all and cows and all of our food. Imagine that shit. Imagine if you took somebody from 400 years ago, like a native tribe person, and said, yeah, today we gather up all the cows and all the animals and just kill them all and eat them. Put them on a shelf. Yeah, we just kill all the ant piles. It's an inconvenience for our yard. That just sounds like a fucking psycho. Like they would be like, why are you killing these living beings? At that scale.
It's not the same.
Oh, it's not the same. That's how you justify it. Okay. That's how you justify it. Hey.
Well, ant is an insect. Oh. We're not.
Oh yeah, but your native tribes didn't view them as that. They viewed them as life beings that you should respect.
Well, they're a human being too.
What happened? Because I'm talking about a time before that system. Those banks ain't always been around, buddy.
So is Brett wanting a spot in my driveway?
I don't know if he wants a spot in the driveway.
That's a bedroom.
Well, I'm not banging Brett, okay? Dude, I actually had drama with Brett, and I'm going to say this because the other person won't listen. When I was in Australia, there was a female I felt came on to me at one point in the Gold Coast, which Gold Coast is apparently the #1 beach in the world. I thought it was okay. They had the slingshot. And this girl was Brett's girlfriend. This girl was Brett's girlfriend, and she lived in a island community. Her house was worth like $45 million or whatever. And while Brett wasn't around, I felt like she came on to me, and I distanced myself, and tried to be nice the rest of the night. I just low key like, oh, let me grab the guitar, walk across the room to grab it, type deal. She, you know what I'm saying? Like she comes and lays on it, and I'm like, let me get the guitar, play another song. And so I blew it off, but then I told Brett. Brett knows I'm not lying. Brett's on the show watching. He knows. He's like, yeah, he told me. And yeah. So that's what happened. And now I'm not even friends with the chick. I don't know what's going on. And she just like all of a sudden is liking all my posts, all my pictures, all my shit. So Brett, tell your ex, I hope ex, to get off my socials, bitch. I hope that's your ex now, Brett. Run away. Her name was Nikki.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Icky Nicky.
Yeah. Hey, Nikki, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Nikki. She wasn't that bad. I mean, you're doing great, Brett. I'm just saying. I mean, we can't trust these hoes today. Unless their name is Connie or Caitlin.
Hey.
Wait a minute here.
Hey, I just said you can trust them. I said you can't trust these hoes except if their name is Connie or Caitlin. That's what I said.
But I'm not a hoe.
I said except. Why are you so sensitive, Connie? God, I thought your torpedoes was loaded. Oh, look, Brett just said I broke him up. Oh, my God. This is Jerry Springer to the 10th degree. Hold on. We might have to have Brett call it.
You broke them up.
I broke them up. Oh, my God. That's good, though. That's good. I helped you.
So now we got Broke Joe and Broke Chaz.
No, I would be the broker. Back to real estate. You know, I'm the broker.
Oh.
All right.
So how big of a motorhome you guys looking to
I don't
get?
know. Whatever we get, the best fucking deal. I guess Practical Nip says if you spend more than $10,000, they pay attention. If you spend less, they don't. So I guess anything $9,999 or less. That's what we're looking at. Cash.
Practical
Fucking
nip,
cash.
That's what I said.
What did you just fucking say?
Oh, practical nymph. He said icky nicky.
So for 10,000 or less, whatever we could get for that will sleep. He says it needs to sleep at least 4 people.
4 people?
At least 4. He would like 6. But I mean, there's some stuff out there, but it's all like we could have a legit bus motorhome, but it's gonna be like a 2004, and it's gonna be like a diesel or a one of those fucking V10 Tritons. For some reason, the old like motorhomes, they all had those V10 Tritons from Ford.
Stay away from the Tritons.
That's what I kept researching. All the fucking gas motors, stay away from them. The Chevy version is the GM Workhorse, and it's a 454 big block.
Yeah,
And
the Tritons ain't worth a shit.
Well, and that's the other thing, Sean. Like, dude, I can get in my car right now. In 2019, at least. I don't know how it would be now. But there was a point there where I could get in my car and like I said, when I drove from Maine to Watsonville, which is the Atlantic Ocean, to the Pacific Ocean, I could do it for probably $200 one way. Maybe less than that. I could go from right now, I think. Hold on. My car gets 30 miles, and I don't ever lie when I talk about this shit. Hold on. Let me see this. My car gets like 30 miles to the gallon. If I was to come back up there, for instance, let me see what I would be able to. Well, it's like 20. I base it on a 25, but it's really 30. If I was to drive from here to where you're at, it would be 10 hours, 750 miles. So that would cost me like $65. Does that make sense?
For your car?
For my car, it would cost $65.
Yeah, I could see that.
Now, for a fucking car, hold on. For a car, that's great. But for a motor home that gets 8 or 6 miles to the gallon, 6 miles to the gallon, so that's 715 miles divided by, on a high day, 8.
Stealing time says get something with the Cummins 5.9. 5.9 Cummins.
I'm just making, no matter what you get, the gas mileage is ridiculous on these things. 8 miles is about the average on these bigger motorhomes. If I go from here, so like I just said, I could get to your place for $65, Sean. Probably. I might need to get some more. We'll say $80 to drive from me to you. Now, if I eat, I'm just talking about gasoline only.
Right.
That's a whole nother deal. If I had to stop and get some food, then it adds up. But I'm just saying, gasoline only. So to do this same trip with a vehicle that gets 8 miles to the gallon, 715 miles divided by 8 is 89.3 gallons. So at 89.3 gallons, we're timesing that the price of gasoline, which is about $3. What is it up there in Knoxville?
We're at about $2.75.
We'll put $2.75. That's $245.78, Sean. For me to go from where I'm at right now to you with my car is $80. To do the same thing with a motorhome is $245.
But then you could.
But you're driving around your home though. I mean,
it's still $245.
Right.
I can drive her, but here's my deal. So this is why, the sprint car people versus the late mall people, they drive those motorhome kind of deals in the late mall world, where the sprint car people, they're hotel people. That's still prima donna to me. I'm simply saying, some people would say me traveling. So so you have a home or a place to stay or a bed to sleep in. I could drive from where I'm at to you, and it's a 10-hour drive. I could do that easily 2 days and do 5 hours a day and travel and check out a zoo or whatever. I could do, I'm just saying, I could go to, if I want to drive to you, say starting tomorrow morning, I'm going to be like, hey, I want to go to Oklahoma City for a basketball game. So I drive 5 hours. I go to Oklahoma City for a basketball game. That ticket's like probably $40. I get a hotel for 60. That's 100. So now we're at 180. And then I wake up and I drive to you and, do whatever I want along the way. And I still have money to spare.
Right. Yeah, you wouldn't have nothing to spare with a motorhome.
Right. This is what has to be paid to move. To literally drive down the street to your house, $245 is the price. And if you ain't got that to spare, you're fucked. But this is also why the Uber Eats and me have worked so well, because I can move around and make money as I'm moving. So,
right.
You
almost need a Gabby Petito van. And, I mean, if you're going to do something like that by yourself. But
right, but I mean, for 6 people now, it's different. You got to buy 4 hotels or whatever rooms, and that's different.
Right.
So I could get it's logical if you're trying to move around in a group, but to move around as an individual, it just don't make sense. I mean, unless you're getting paid. Now, if I'm getting paid to go here and there, then that's different. Because I get paid to go to some shows, to promote and everything. So,
right. Well, I mean, if you guys can find a motorhome, I mean, you know how big our driveway is.
The best ones on the block are the Mercedes Benz, the van, the Class C Plus.
Yeah, but when that son of a bitch breaks down, though.
Oh God, I know. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing. Every one of these options, those are probably the best ones. They get around 25 miles to the gallon. And they got slide outs on them. But Yeah, that's another deal when they break down. Like maybe something like this ain't that bad. If you got to change the tires on something small like this or smaller, that ain't bad. But when you got to do tires on one of those big motorhomes, you're talking multiple thousands of dollars. I was told that an oil change on a big motorhome, like a bus look, is fucking $950 for an oil change.
Yep.
Like one of the big buses, like one of these. This one. This is, even though this is newer.
Like a Prevost.
Yeah. Well, and some of the older motorhomes are very similar to this. So,
yep.
You got to change tires on that. That's $3,000.
Yeah.
You got to do an oil change. That's $900, $950.
Yeah, shit's crazy.
So that's what's always, why don't you get a newer car? Why don't you get this? Why don't you get that? I'm adding up gas and I'm adding up expense.
You can live in a van down by the river.
Why you got to make fun of me like that? That's not nice of you to say. I mean, if the van looks like that, I'll take it, but.
No, somebody said that in chat.
Hey, man, I'm thinking of a tent, bro. I'm thinking of the tent life. The tent life ain't bad. Honestly, I had one of these, a Ford, is it a Escort van? I think that's what they're called. No, what are they called? Yeah. No. Ford Transit, Connects. I actually had one of these from JVI, the Larson sponsor. You know who this Larson sponsor is, right?
Mm-hmm.
JVI. So I had one of these. I actually used one of these for a couple months. And so y'all don't think I'm lying. We can actually verify this. I did this when I was showing a girl. Oh, yeah, I had another Facebook page until COVID happened. This was the original Chaz page. I grew it from nothing to 20,000 followers. And it hasn't been posted on since 2021. We spoke out about COVID a little too harsh, but we did have the JVI van with us. This was the JVI van that we used. This is on the page. And he's a pretty cool guy, a guy named Sam. I mean, there's me with no beard. It's not the greatest. We were at the Daytona 500 that weekend. But that is what one of those are. Now, I had converted this little JVI van into a pretty nice little setup. I had a full-size bed in the back of this van on a frame. So I had a full-size frame in the back of the vehicle with a full-size bed on top. And then underneath the frame is where I had shelves for clothes. I had a setup in the back that had all the utensils. I had another set in the back. It was basically like I had built like a room in the back of this. I had all the amenities that a bedroom would have in the back of this vehicle, including the bed. And it was pretty fucking good for a single individual, I will say. Single individual. And this is where actually we went to, that was Key West right there. We took that picture in Key West. That was a sunrise. Yeah, that was all Volusia. We went to all the Volusia stuff. But regardless, that might work for a single individual. It got about 35 miles to the gallon. The tires were relatively, affordable. And you could stop wherever you wanted. Like I went to Key West, just pull off to the side, hop in the back, turn the AC on. I mean, I'm not trying to brag a little bit, but I did, I only had it for like 2 months, but I successfully fucked like 6 chicks in the back of that deal. 4 confirmed, the 2 others I might have been too drunk. But I mean, hey, so it was an allure. They were like, oh, in the back of the van, really? And I was like, yeah, come on, check it out. And then bam, that's all you got to, give them a kiss and it's on.
White?
But, huh?
Was it white?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. No, I'm telling you, that's the van. Hold on. Back to the Chaz.
Yeah, that looks like a kidnapping van.
Not in today's world, buddy. That's the shaggin' wagon 2025. I'm telling you right now, that's the shaggin' wagon. That only ain't no kidnap vehicle. Look how fly that shit look. Hold on. You see a dude rolling up looking like that with that van, you're going to be like, oh, where are we going? I want some of that. They were like, oh, really? They saw the little, hold on. Let me show you something. Hold on. You see that little Daytona 500 hat right there, boy? Let me show you. They were all trying to figure out where the hat was going. Look at that, old boy. They were going right back there, boy. You see, there's the bed right there. You can see it. Look at that. That wasn't no kidnap van. That was that old get that van. They were like, they weren't kidnapping. They were getting that. And you know what I'm saying? Nick and Nack in the hills in the air. The only problem was they couldn't really get on top. They couldn't get on top and extend all the way. I was very upset about this. There wasn't enough head clearance. So that's the only part. The one girl went to go, lay back and do some back action, and she couldn't. She hit her head on the top. I felt very embarrassed. I was like, I'm sorry, it's a low roof.
Should have had a midget.
Oh, she was hot as fuck, bro. That one was like, I was like in heaven. I didn't know how I landed it. I mean, I don't know how I land any of them, but that one, I took a shot and it landed. That's why I talk so much shit. There's no goal that cannot be obtained, and that woman's probably an example of it.
You should have looked into a midget.
Why would you say such a thing? Rico won tonight. Why are you being so mean to Rico? Rico won't talk to me anymore.
I'm not.
Hey, by the way, Rico won't talk to me anymore. He hates me.
Why?
I don't know, bro. I know this shit happened at Perth. He got fucked up, and I thought his hand was missing because somebody sent me a picture. It was gone. I texted him. I'm like, I didn't mention it all the way on the show. No, I'm telling you, it looked like his hand was missing. And
I know you told us that.
Right. And I showed you the pictures. It looked bad. It looked like it was gone. I kind of mentioned it on the show, and then I texted him. I was like, hey, man, what the fuck is... Because I had no idea. I was like, this picture looks
like,
bad.
You need a hand?
No, I didn't say that, Connie. I said to him, I was like, what's going on, bro? Are you okay? Like, I got this picture. Never said anything. Nothing at all. Gave it a few... I mean, he usually texts back all the time. I gave it like 2 weeks. I messaged him and no response. So there's two answers to this. Either he's mad at me or they're trying to set me up to do some kind of gay seance because I'm supposed to feel bad that he don't like me. And because if he don't like me, I need to figure out a way to make you like me, please. I love you. And then I suck his dick for some money or something. I don't know. What?
Get down on his level.
Why are you being so mean to Rico? What did he do to you? That's such a mean statement.
No, it's not.
To say you want to get down on his level? What do you mean then?
I said hi to him tonight.
If he knew you said what you just said, I don't think he would have acknowledged you.
Well, cut that part out.
No, tell me why. It's because it's funny, right? Because it's funny. Right. Tell me, Connie. It's funny. No. The real side of me, Connie, thinks that that's funny, what you just said. Just like, hold on. Just like a bunch of people thought it was funny that I called Caitlin a fucking bitch, drunk and fucked up at Waffle House because she rubbed that cow one in my face. And they're like, oh, this fucking bitch, what an asshole. Everybody thought that was funny too.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Okay, because I was talking about women, fucking bitch and all that. Now, if you're talking about little people, get down on his level. Is that not offensive?
What started
Is that not as bad as fucking bitch?
You said some girl's head got hit on the top of the van, so if she would have been little, it wouldn't have gotten hit.
Right. But then you referenced Rico.
No,
just like, yeah, she did. She said, get down his level. Yeah, no. Just like if Caitlin wouldn't have ran up in my face and fist bumped me and said, good job, and then came back and rubbed it in my face again, I would have never thought about her, Connie. She wouldn't have been a thought in my fucking mind.
I'm sorry I said that because I like Rico.
Oh, now you're regretting it.
No, I'm apologizing. Did you ever apologize?
Did you see my black eye video? Did you watch it?
Yeah, we watched
Did y'all watch it live? Did y'all watch it live?
Yeah.
Really? Was
Yeah.
that not good though? That was good.
Oh,
that was
was
just
good.
as good as the Tony Stewart video. It really
You're
was.
You're wiping your eye off on live. Oh my
I
God!
heard everyone was tuned into that though. Like people were freaking out. They were like, "Who fucking hit the Chaz in the eye? What happened?" I heard people were like watching that.
No, it was pretty comical.
But I halfway apologized. I felt like in that video to Kyle. Did I not? I mean,
Yeah, you did.
publicly on my show with a black eyebrow. What else can I do? If they ain't over it by now, I ain't over it by now. Fuck you, bitch.
I'm sure they're over it by now.
I just went. I went completely Kevin James right there. Oh my God.
My goodness.
What are we doing? Sean, I miss you. I really do. I want you to know that. I didn't know how much until we had this show tonight. And I want you to know something. I really want you to know something.
What's that?
So the day before I did my live with Tony Stewart.
Uh-huh.
We said okay. Basically, he literally the day before was like, "Hey, I messaged him because we've been talking. I remember I told you about getting Stewart on. Remember that? I remember telling you.
Yep.
And he was interested, but it just worked out. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing tomorrow, you bitch?" You know, I've got to talking shit. You know, that's how friends talk. When I call Caitlin a fucking bitch, I thought I'm talking shit, just like I do to Stewart. But we're all buddies and shit. I asked him if he wanted to do it. He gave me his number. He's like, "Hey, call me. Let's talk before we do something. We could do something, but let's have a little chat. What do you want to talk about?" So I call him, and dude, we had a personal phone call the day before. First time I ever talked to him. Honestly, and it lasted about 2 fucking hours, just talking, me and him personally.
Yeah.
And we did some tests with the video shit. And I was like, "You want to be on video?" He's like, he didn't want the picture. You know how I interview people with the picture. He wanted to do a video deal. And I was like, "Okay, that sounds cool." So we tested that. But we started talking on the video deal, for fucking 2 hours. And at the end of it, he was like, "Okay, so we'll be there live tomorrow, okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it'll be me, and I'll just be right here on the camera." He's like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "What about the other guy?" He was all like sad. And I go, "What do you mean the other guy?" And he goes, "Don't you have that guy in the back who sits at the bar?"
Aw.
I mean, Tony Stewart was looking forward for you to be in the show, Sean, is what I'm saying. I mean, I thought he was talking about Broke Joe at the moment, but it wasn't. After I thought it, because I said it the other day, I was like, Tony Stewart was wanting to talk to you, Joe. I thought he was talking about him, but the more I thought about it, I was like, why did he say the other guy in the back? Because I've been gone for 3 months. I ain't done a show there for how long. I was like, what's he talking about? But thinking about
it. Didn't even mention me?
No.
Well,
I'm sure if we would have did a show at your place, you would have came across the corner and took your whole fucking top off trying to impress Tony Stewart. So I'm glad he didn't know who the fuck you were, Connie.
No, I wouldn't have done that. But I think I hung out with him at Sprint in Knoxville.
Okay. You're so cool, Connie.
I know.
That bar that we were talking about, or when we went to that Mexican restaurant there.
Yeah.
And
the JD Ball used to be there.
Yeah, and there's that bar that was like catty corner from.
But it wasn't there. It was down.
It was. Well,
yeah, that's the one you go downstairs or whatever.
Yeah, that used to be called Sprints.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
Down.
Okay, well then explain in detail what you mean, Connie, so we don't offend you.
It was the next block over on the corner.
Okay.
And it used to be Sprint. And I swear he was here at Nationals, and I was hanging out with him years ago.
Right.
He probably remembers.
No, he might. I mean, you do. Do you think that meeting you was just as important as you meeting him?
Oh, I really doubt it.
I'm just saying it could now, though. It could now. We could change your life, Connie. We could have you in a suite at Eldora.
The thing is, the guy said he was Tony Stewart, and then he took off in a airplane, but I don't know if it really was. I think it was, though.
Do you want to know how I know that Tony Stewart's a real motherfucker before any of this happened?
What's that?
So it was back when I was talking with you about Tony maybe coming on the show. You remember that, Sean, right?
Right, yep.
Well, there was one night, I don't know what it was. I mean, maybe it was the situation bothering me or whatever. But I messaged Tony about doing a show or something like that. And this was honestly before, I'm getting my timeline. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm remembering everything. This was before I told you we might have Tony Stewart on the show. So I was already talking to him. And I said, hey, what do you think about doing a show? One time we can talk about this. I'm like, hey, if you come on my stuff, it's going to be what it is. And he said, nothing. He said nothing. And I let it go. Obviously, you know the timeline, so I was dealing with the other situation coming back out of nowhere. Remember that shit?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if it was that situation or what, but when I said, hey, do you want to come on the show? And he didn't respond. Something in me just fucking, and I do it with a lot of people, and this is why I have small groups. I don't hold back. When he didn't respond, I didn't like it. And one night after a show probably or whatever, and the situation was bothering me, I went fucking drunk text on to Tony Stewart. I fucking went off. I think I might have told you about this.
You did.
I fucking just told this motherfucker off. Like, fuck you. If you don't like my shit, here's maybe why. And I say this because of XYZ. And if this guy or that guy don't like it, fuck you. And I've spent my whole fucking last 7 years putting my guts out, and this is why. And I don't think it's right that a sprint car driver has to fucking die to get on ESPN. I think it should be on it for what he fucking does right now. David Gravel should be more relevant than Joey Logano or any of them fucking cup drivers. This is what I was relaying, that message.
Right.
It's bullshit. Is it not? Can somebody... Okay, so if somebody can explain to me... By the way, before I get into this, Tony Stewart replied, and that's how I was like, okay, he was like, yeah, I'll do a show and all that. So he's a real motherfucker because of what I just said. He understood the message. I think maybe even if I got a little disrespectful here and there, he ignored it and said, okay, that's real. And
no, I remember that whole situation.
Right. So, on the heels of what I just said, is there anybody in the world right now that can convince me that any NASCAR, Max Verstappen's, Joey Logano's, fucking William Byron's, Fernando's, Lewis Hamilton with his fucking cornrows. If you can explain to me how any of those guys being more relevant in the world than David Gravel, than Carson Macedo, than Brad Sweet, than Rico Abreu, than Tyler fucking than any of these, if you could explain to me how that's not bullshit based on what they're doing on the racetrack, then I'll shut the fuck up. But tell me how that ain't.
Yeah.
Tell me how that ain't. Tell me how my guy can do some of the most amazing things in the world that you've ever fucking seen. He can outrun Kyle Larson. He can drive around what you think's the best in the world. He can do it. But he has to fucking die for you to know his fucking name. And I think that's why I get so passionate. The other night, I was at a eatery that wants to do some marketing work with me potentially because they see my social numbers and they can't believe it. Most people don't do what I do. Numbers, maybe Dirt Tracker's better, but we do some shit that's pretty good in the social domain. They're like, wow, that's big, especially my TikTok, which ain't really racing shit, but my TikTok's pretty popping, by the way. I know you don't care. The one girl actually knew what dirt racing was, but she hated sprint cars, and I said, why? Why do you hate sprint cars? Well, they're dangerous. She said, or it was a girl. She said, I've known too many guys who've been hurt in them. And that's a very valid point.
Right.
But also, let me tell you this, those who like sprint car racing, with that element involved of how dangerous they are. Also, why is it that there's only one thing in the world that takes that degree of risk and that degree of skill that gets zero recognition by the society around it? That element of sprint car racing that our favorite driver could come into the corner and not come out, and what I've dealt with, my buddies, my friends, my people I know that I've hung out with, got fucked up with Brian Clausen till 5, 6 a.m. Kyle Larson's buying burgers at Lenny's. We're all having fucking fun. Me, Kevin Swindell, we're all buddies. Kyle ain't lying about that, how he used to know me. We used to all hang out in these fucking fun environments. I just got tired of the situation outside of those environments. That's a fucked up thing. That these guys are doing what they're doing to the degree that they're doing, beating the best driver in the world. This is why I stand up against Kyle, even though he's one of the best. Guess what? Our guys whoop your ass. The late model drivers of this country, super late model drivers, I still, y'all can say he went back to sprints because of high limit. The late model driver, he could beat them, yeah, but the late model drivers put Kyle Larson outside the top 10 frequently. Not all the time. They put him out of the top 5 frequently. But, hey, there's a more in-depth field over there. When Kyle Larson's in a sprint car, you're dealing with the best Kyle Larson there is.
Yeah, no doubt.
Kyle Larson's a sprint car driver. He's not a cup driver, not a super late model driver, and not an F1 driver or IndyCar driver. Kyle Larson's a sprint car driver. That's where he's an expertise. That's what he's done his whole life. When you beat Kyle,
that's where he's going to go when he's done with NASCAR.
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying when you're Brian Brown and you drive around Kyle in a heat race in a sprint car, when you're David Gravel or when you're Rico Abreu, you beat Kyle Larson to the line in a fucking sprint car. You just did everything that the Cup drivers and the F1 drivers and all these people can never do. You just beat the best in the world and the best that he's at.
It's a fact.
But that's also proof of how good our guys are. We can talk about Cup. He waxes the Cup's field when he don't get wrecked. Or he don't get fucked around. Driver for driver, Kyle Larson destroys that field. Bell's right there with him. Honestly, the best example of what I'm saying, that all these dirt drivers are just as good as your Cup field, is Chase Briscoe. I should have brought that up with Tony Stewart, but Chase Briscoe was an average dirt track driver. Fucking B-mainer sometimes. And he got a NASCAR shot, and look where he's at. He can win Cup races, literally, on the right weekend. He needs some help. But that's because he's not that great. But that's also an example of how somebody not that good can prove that they look better in a Cup Series vehicle. But all I'm saying is Kyle Larson getting beat by a sprint car driver any night in any class, there ain't nobody else in the world that can do that but that guy. And I just think that I've been very passionate, very upset, very mad that guy who's one of the, should be recognized for being one of the best drivers, risking the most as well. That's crazy that a sport that risks so much is out of the spotlight. Should be getting some of that spotlight, you know.
Right. Right.
And that's not right. And I've got very deep into that category. But see, even Kyle, he makes the food on his plates from the master known as NASCAR. He's back to the whole scenario I've explained technically this whole show because he eats off of the master's plate. That's who pays the bill.
I want to know what size you are.
What size? Who's what?
Brett said, "Is Sean my size?"
Oh, God. We'll change the subject. That's fine. Connie, thanks for ruining everything. I thought you had something to say. I don't know what you're saying.
I'll go to bed. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Kyle Larson is the way he is because of Paul Silva in a sprint car. Prove me wrong. He's way better than Paul. I can't believe that. What has Paul Silva done outside of Kyle? And what has Kyle done outside of Paul?
Exactly.
Kyle goes out there and wins plenty of races without Paul. Now, Kyle has been put with some good people. He ran a late model. He didn't run it for Joe Blow like Logan Seavey. He ran it for Kevin Rumley. You know, I think that Chris Bell or Kyle Larson or Logan Seavey is just as equatable as far as talent. But Kyle Larson gets into the right car. You know, he gets into the most famous fucking late model there ever was. The 6 of Kevin Rumley changed the fucking entire industry with Jonathan Davenport. And prior to him. So, Kyle Larson don't need Paul Silva, but he needs good equipment, and everyone needs a good equipment.
Right.
If Kyle Larson goes out tonight with 50 less horsepower, like the back half of the field, he ain't going nowhere. If he goes out there in a Tasker Phillips car, well, that's a good car. If he goes out there in a Kyle Bellum vehicle, he may run better than Kyle Bellum all night, but he ain't beating David Gravel. He ain't making the A-Main.
No.
You still need a race car. Does that race car have to be Paul Silva's? No. Hell, I think you could put Kyle Larson in the Jason Sides ride and win a fucking outlaw race first fucking night. First fucking night. Put him in the Jason Sides car. He'd win it. You know how I know this? Because I believe it was Joey Saldana racing for Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s team, and he wasn't doing that great. Kyle Larson flew into Eagle Raceway on a midweek race, jumped in the car, and won his first World of Outlaws event, I believe, in a car that wasn't even a contender for a win for the entire year. Kyle Larson's won outlaw races without Paul Silva. He just chose Paul Silva. I don't know why. There may be some mafia ties, but he chose him.
He's just that good.
Yeah, it's possible. All right. Are we done, Sean? We want to try to call Broke Joe or what? It's almost 3 a.m, Sean.
Yeah, we probably
The Easter Bunny's out.
Easter Bunny's out laying eggs right now.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, no problem.
I guess we got to make our way back to Knoxville. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say see you soon.
Oh, God.
Hopefully.
Oh, no. All right.
Then we'll talk about this motorhome stuff.
Oh, God. I just don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. Anyway, I changed my timing belt for a fucking reason, you know.
Right. Well, now you can get another 400,000.
Yeah, exactly. Well, at least 150. At least.
Yeah, at least.
And then we'll get on CNN or something for having the oldest Mitsubishi Lancer in the United States of America. What other car out there is gonna have 500,000 miles, Sean? That's got to be a special on Netflix. Come on.
You need to get a hold of Mitsubishi and say, hey man, I got this Lancer. I don't even know what year it is, but you got X amount of miles on it, and I just like to let you know that
The Japanese can be celebrated. You know what a Mitsubishi is, right, Sean?
yeah, it's a fighter pilot back in the
Yeah, because most people
Yeah.
think, all they hear about the Japanese fighter pilots is the kamikazes.
right.
And they don't understand that the kamikazes weren't the only Japanese fighter. So Mitsubishi's was like the Top Gun,
Mm-hmm.
they were like the best fighter pilots of the Japanese Air Force, because it wasn't just a bunch of fucking Asians who wanted to die. I feel like Americans think that the only pilots of the World War II from Japan were fucking, they were kamikazes. Throw your shit in the ground.
No.
I'm just saying, Sean. Are we going to Taiwan, or what the fuck's happening there?
Thailand?
I say it wrong every time. I gotta apologize to the Japanese God Kings. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we plan on making a trip to Thailand in 26. Yeah.
If you become buddies with Brett, he'll come too. You just gotta fucking kick John out of the way.
Brett wants to know how big you are.
Yeah, he's not that far from Thailand if he's in Australia.
Did Connie just say he wants to know how big he is, or she wants to know how big he is?
No.
Like girth or length?
No.
Hold on. Narrow it down, Connie. Girth or length? Calm down.
No, Brett asked in chat how big I was, I think.
So he's trying to find out. He got rid of that girl. Over there in Australia, they swing both ways. That's how I got to sleep on his couch. I had to pay rent somehow, Sean.
No, we ain't going there.
Okay.
That's not what you have to do here, Chaz.
Yeah, I got to do it with you. That's worth way more. Sean knows. Oh, Sean knows. Don't argue going to bed. I'm just kidding.
No. Hell no.
I ain't trying to get a Super 8 hotel on the fly tonight, Sean. I can't do it. Talk about an inside joke. That's the definition.
Yeah.
That's the definition of an inside joke right there. All right.
Somebody's asking about Broke Joe.
Oh no! Do we pee and call him? Do we try to? There's no way he's awake at 1 a.m. No fucking.
Fuck no, he's not.
Ain't awake.
1 a.m. It's 2:30.
No, in California.
In California, well, 12.
12:30.
Somebody said that Justin did get wrecked though. Did you see that chat earlier? Justin got wrecked. No, Sanders got wrecked by DJ Neto tonight at SCCT. Talk about it. Fill in your quota. Jordan's a whore. Yeah, this Jordan and Spike, they're all broke Joe cum guzzlers.
Brett's got a trick for you.
Somebody is talking to you, Sean. Can you carry the conversation here with Brett? I got to pee again. I'm sorry. The beer's coming in and out. All right.
Oh, that's why he wanted to know my size. He wants to give me a shirt. Yeah, I'll take a shirt. I'll take a large. So Brett, we need to get this narrowed down before nationals, I guess. Or is it all hinged on getting a motorhome for Chaz? Is there any video of the Neto Sanders crash? Anybody know if there's a video of that?
I want a shirt.
Wonder what this shirt looks like.
I know.
Are y'all picking out shirts right now? What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right,
Keep giving up.
it's a high limit. We're 420 in it.
DJ Junk Sanders.
Once again, this is legal. They're not calling it marijuana. They're calling it hash holies. Rainbow sherbet. It tastes like a rainbow sherbet. It is 49 THC. It has 0.3%. So that's all it has. 0.3 of whatever 49 THC is. But it is 420. It's Easter, so we're laying an egg. We'll have some for you, Brett, when you show back up.
I think this year's Nationals is going to be a pretty good time.
As far as what? For you or for me? I might get fucking knocked out and beaten the fucking backside of dingus. I mean,
this is going to be a fun time.
well, I definitely think we could turn your house into the best happening spot. We could maybe have Kyle Larson there drunk late at night, to be honest. Caitlin and Kyle. That honestly could be the night that we have the show. It's possible. We could have a live show with you, Caitlin, me, and Kyle on the show in the basement. That's actually possible.
And Connie.
You're off to the side, Connie. You're the showpiece. You're like the best looking thing we could put on display. That's how most men view women anyway, an object. So you're the best one.
You're so sweet.
Oh, that's being sweet. So, okay. I figured the game out tonight. Tell them what they want to hear, Connie. Tell them what they want to hear. I could be married by now if I would have done that.
Meet up with Tim Crawley at Knoxville. Huh.
Oh, God. Yeah, Tim Crawley wants to fight me. I don't know why. Why does he want to fight me, Sean? Although I did go off the last show. They're weird fucking people. I don't know what to fucking say outside of that. The Crawleys are just weird fucking people. That's my best description of those people.
You had a good conversation with them at.
Well, they got so mad. Remember, me and Broke Joe, and I said that Landon I don't think the South makes good racers. Remember, and they went crazy.
Yeah, they went off.
They're fucking psycho. I can't deal with people like that. They need to seek out professional fuck. So there's some people that can believe and understand, and there's some people that are just fucking gone. They're gone. Like, they need professional help. I can't deal with them. I just can't, Sean. What am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to lie? I was nice. I don't get it.
You just told the truth.
I didn't even tell the truth. I was defending him. Because Broke Joe was throwing out the stats of how bad he was. And I was like, well, I just think the South didn't really, prep him to be ready for the Outlaws or High Limit. And that set him off. I don't know what to say, man.
Well, it is what it is, I guess.
Look, you even had the commenter saying the post about Chaz from the family's wild. The mom was going after me. Like psycho. Fucking, there's those funny videos on Facebook about like we're watching like a soccer game and the soccer team, there's a flag or a penalty, and then they pan the video to the psycho mom who's like yelling and screaming and like attacking the wreck and spiking their fucking tires in the parking lot. You know those funny videos of this crazy psycho shit?
Yeah.
That is the fucking Crawleys. That's the Crawleys. Like, I'm not lying here. That's how it comes across. Like Jay said, was it not like that? Like,
she's a mama bear.
Was it not like no? But mama bears are smart, not fucking stupid. Mama bears knows a threat versus knowing normalcy.
True.
Like, what are you talking about? You put your fucking kid on the biggest series that dirt racing knows, and he doesn't do that great. And a guy questions another guy, why did he do great? And I say, because the South can't make a driver better, and you lose your shit.
Yeah, that's not
What?
right.
That's psycho. That ain't no mama bear. That's a fucking mamasaurus. The fuck you talking about? A mamasaurus is gonna eat me alive no matter what, because I just exist. A mama bear thinks about it a little bit, you know. Fuck. I mean, and then the recent conversation I had with that Brad Bowden, you know, I just said I told the truth again. I said, you know, Landon didn't do that great. We kind of brought it up, and then I was like, if I was to pick a driver from the South, I would have picked you over him because I saw you beat him so many times. And he was being very humble and very shy. That's what he was being, shy. And he defended Landon. Oh, he just needs more experience, more years. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But my point there is, when I'm bringing up the Brad Bowden example, is here's how sports work. Sports work in the world where high school, for instance, this quarterback threw for 45 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. This quarterback threw for 20 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. Who are we drafting?
Right.
Right? Is that a question? Yeah. Is there a question?
No, it shouldn't be no question.
40 touchdowns to 15 interceptions, that's average. 20 touchdowns to 17. And this is what happens in motorsports. That guy gets drafted. What? And this is outside the Landon Crawley situation. This is what happens across the entire motorsports domain, especially in weekly dirt track racing. We'll say that. Maybe not your World Karting Association, which takes $80,000 to attempt. That's what I'm saying. Like a guy who's 30, or let's just say Brad Bowden, a guy who's 37 years old. Let's do this. A guy who's 37 years old driving a 410 sprint car operation. That makes sense when I consider economics. And I'm not a fucking stupid dumbass. I dropped out of high school, but I at least can learn. Just because I said the school system wasn't for me didn't mean I didn't learn or lose the ability to think for myself and learn and grow.
Right.
When I look at the economics of a situation, it makes sense to me that a 37-year-old person is in a 410 sprint car racing operation. Because he has to, this person, anyone coming from anywhere, which is how other sports get judged, you have, how much does a 410 sprint car operation cost? Let's just say on the low end, $150,000 on the low end to race a 410 sprint car that could compete for the World of Outlaws. When I say 100,000, I'm saying 100,000 in the car. You're going to at least have one of the premier motors, and you're going to have a trailer and components to get you to the track. And that's an extremely low number, $150K, to have a 410 sprint car race ready and some way to get to the track and back. $150,000 cash. We ain't talking about you go to the bank and finance this shit. When you buy a fucking motor for $80,000, it's cash. When you buy any of these things, it's cash outside of your truck and your trailer. So in this real fucking world, to come up with $150,000 cash could take you 37 fucking years. Do you know what I'm saying, Sean?
Right. Yeah.
If I told you right now as a working man that you've lived your entire life, how would you ever come up with $150K cash any way you went about it? You've worked your whole fucking life away. Have you ever in your life had $150K to blow on a hobby?
No.
Or ever thought of a way you could do it?
No.
That's what I mean. So, if
Start
a driver,
an OnlyFans, maybe.
If a driver, and that's what people trade their morals in to accomplish these fucking materialistic goals. And this is why my message of these older people being just as good as your little 16 fucking year old punk who was in this shit, how'd he get there? He didn't go make that money and work for it. His age says he didn't. His age says he didn't. He didn't earn it. He didn't get out in the fields and work his ass off. This is why I say 28-year-old Tony Stewart, who's a fucking young gun, that operation works. That scenario where a dirt track racer who's a young gun coming up at 25 to 28 makes sense. Okay, you could maybe make that fucking money by then. We could maybe figure out that you're better than all the locals. Because at that point, that's when you're up against equal competition. So
Right.
that's the hardcore issue with the Brad Bowden or any of these people. If somebody's better than you, I don't care that you're this new little kid that's 14 doing okay and beating them once in a while. Why did this guy who was just as good as you all these years just fall off to the wayside? Because he didn't have the money. This is my point with Kyle. If Kyle don't get into a car at 14 and 16 and a 410 and all this shit, he'd be, at best, David Gravel and Carson and all these people. He'd be up here racing us.
Right.
If he don't get that money. Let's just say his dad didn't want to mortgage the house. Another kid just as naturally talented as Kyle, his family didn't want to mortgage the house to be Jeff Gordon. You understand that, right? That's the sad part about it.
Yep.
Kyle may have wanted to be Jeff Gordon, but who taught him to want to be Jeff Gordon? His daddy. With the media he placed in front of his child. Kyle's been indoctrinated his entire life. His daddy put Jeff Gordon in his face as a kid. Psyoped him.
That's true.
I got to see this firsthand when I go to Cycle Land in fucking Northern California, and there's only 5 kids out of 180 who even want to be there. Because daddy's making them. Because daddy wants his kid to be Kyle Larson. You know, this is the sad scenario. So do we want to talk about that on a show with Kyle? Does he want to answer? How does it feel to have a life that someone made for you? And did here's the deal. Did his daddy do that or did Jeff Gordon do it? Or okay, who pushed the media in front of his daddy's face to make him want to influence his kid to do that? This is the level of chess and manipulation of media who could convince an individual to be something their whole entire life. This is the steps that you take to do that. In media, in manipulation, in influence. We're talking about 6 fucking levels or more. A 15, 20, 40-year plan. To think that the Kyle Larson you have today was influenced 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Do you think maybe he wanted to ever do anything other than race when he was that young?
This is why I laugh at AI. Because it's like we think we could control AI based on, programming it. And it's like the supercomputer. We hear these phrases like supercomputer all the time. And I think that honestly, as far as the simulation and those style of deals or a systematic operation, I feel like it was learned a long time ago that we are a supercomputer and we can be programmed. And I think that has to be unknown for us to believe in it. Because if we knew right now, sitting right now here, everyone knew we were following a program, we would never fucking do it. If they came on the TV tomorrow and said, "Hey guys, we've learned how to read your mind and all your thoughts," is that ever gonna fucking fly? The entire world would rebel. What's doing that? How's that happening? That's fucked up. You can read our minds? We'd lose our fucking shit. You're never gonna know that they've known how to do literal. I'm giving you the Kyle Larson example, which you've already said true like 3 times. We have evidence here.
You're a man of many words.
We have evidence here of what I'm describing. So, just like, hold on. Let's circle back. Hold on for Connie. She's watching. Hold on. Hold on. We'll do it for Connie. Oh, I don't know if I can't bring it up. I wanted to bring, just like I was gonna say, just like Katy Perry going into the sky. to circle all the way back. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. How is that possible? That's the control.
Yeah, that's just wild how all that shit.
Do you think vampires are real, Sean? Hold on. Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing to what I'm trying to say, Sean. Do you think that dogs know that they're dogs?
No.
Do you think lions know they're lions?
Nope.
They think they're the king of their domain. Unknowingly. We call the lion the king of the jungle, and if we leave it alone, it is. Correct?
Right.
So let's get into the system of what's happening here. I know you love watching your Kelly. We're about to get into the Kelly dimensions. So if we leave the lion alone, it thinks that it's the ruler of its world. It's the top dominant species. Nothing is bigger than me. But if we interact, it becomes it learns this new world. It learns how to be domesticated. It kind of learns how to feed. It learns how to eat. It's all pampered. It's because at the end of the caged lion, it's kind of it gets domesticated. It settles down. The caged lion. A human may be able to walk by a caged lion and not feel threatened. Sometimes we have these people who play with them and do circus acts. It's because the hunger to survive is gone. It's not because the lion isn't this baddest animal on the planet that it isn't as aggressive. It's because it's not trying to make any money. And now it feels special because all these things admire him. And it gets fed. All the money in the world. Similar to a music star, similar to a movie star, similar to all these people. We're out here trying to make money. That's our life. We're out here in the jungle. We're the kings, though, of the world. We're human beings. That's what we think. We're out here in the jungle, though. What I'm trying to say to you here is, you may think you're the most dominant species on the planet, but you might just be in the jungle. I don't believe we're the most dominant species on the planet, if I'm being sincere and honest with how I feel. We are not the most dominant species on the planet, period. I have been, oh, God. Do we go to this level? Do I admit it, Sean, live?
What?
The time he took his clothes off at the beach?
No, that was a lake, actually.
Oh.
I'm not going to tell you what happened in my situation before racing on the road and traveling, but I'll tell you of a situation as I was traveling. If this structure I just described is real, everyone you know that is a somebody is halfway in it. P. Diddy's, Larson, all of them, NASCAR people, Trump, all of them. They're in the part of the circus act of what entertains us.
Oh.
They're in the circus act of what's entertaining us. And they get rewarded all the food they want. They're rich. But see, I've already described the system earlier where I already know how people own all this money. And so that maybe it could be the bankers, but let's just say it's interdimensional. I was on the road talking all this shit, and I went to Charlotte, North Carolina for the World Finals for the first time it was either it was my first or second time to Charlotte for the dirt races. And I got this cheap hotel with a buddy from Ohio. He was there. And randomly, it was very close to some of the NASCAR people, this hotel. And in the middle of the night, I remember clear as day, I'm not lying, I woke up. I can't believe I'm admitting it on the show. I got to drink some more. I woke up, and so the structure of the hotel was like you walked in the front door. There's the two beds to the right. There's like the mirror and the table to do at the back of the room. There's like the mirror and like the faucet to brush your teeth or whatever, and then the little room for the shower. It was a cheap hotel. I got up from the one bed, and I'm walking towards, because I got to take a piss, I'm walking towards the bathroom where the big mirror is and everything, and the bathroom's to the right. So I'm going to walk to the bathroom, and as I'm walking to the bathroom, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, walking to the bathroom. I feel like we all look at the mirror when we see our reflection. And I'm not lying when I say this. I literally watched something or someone in the mirror pop up from behind the bed, legitimately run across after me. And I turned around and was like ready to die, basically, or fight, one of the two. And nothing was there. I'm not lying about this. This really happened to me. So
what did you do?
Nothing was there. And I was like I was breathing heavily, taking it in. Because I do, and I think there's some interactions that I think prior to that, I feel like some things that have happened to me in life, even when I was down here and I had the whole fucking Jesus shit and all this stuff happen with me in the DFW area, like, I think I've seen that the levels of the system. I think that there are some levels that are not of our race as a human, personally.
Really?
I think, now, for the record, there's 12 million people in the world that believe that lizard people run this entire world, and we are a prison planet. The human race is a slave race for a higher power, and they believe that lizard people have manipulated everything in our society. And the hybrids, of course, they believe like Queen Elizabeth. They would make that joke instead of Queen Elizabeth. There's a lot of people who believe this. And unfortunately, that whole theory or proven theory where all the presidents and rulers of the world are bloodline related. I don't know if you saw that video. That actually ties back to the same things that people believe with this lizard people theory. It's like a hybrid human shapeshifter. Now, I don't believe that, but I think there's like multiple players in the game. I think that lizard people's like a mascot, like Cowboys and Chiefs and New York Giants. I think it's all this like teams. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, there's the lizard people team. And then there's like the Kansas City Aliens. And then there's like the Dallas oil people. And then it's like the fucking, San Francisco banks. It's like who is actually running the world? It's a battle. Does that make sense? No?
No.
Okay. This is why I'm not coming back to Knoxville. I'm just letting you know. When are you going to PA, Chaz? I'm never going to PA again because Jordan and Spike say I'm fucking Amish women, and they're trying to falsely accuse me of having children over there that I don't pay for. So I'm never going to PA again.
Oh, you got summer kids.
I have fucked girls in PA, but I don't have no kids with them.
No, summer kids. Some are here, some are there.
Oh, God. You're a horrible human being, Sean.
That sounds like something I'd say.
It sounds like something you would click on a porn site. You're probably interested in that. Fucking Epstein over there.
All righty, man.
Yeah, why don't you give Connie the phone? We haven't got to interview Connie yet. Hello?
Hello?
I'm asleep.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, we'll let you go. It's 3 a.m. I know. We ruined your day again. This is why she don't want me to come back.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you, too, but this is why you don't want me there. This is why I've been staying away. I'm just telling you the truth, Connie. I mean, I know y'all. When's the last time you stayed up till 3 a.m.? Be honest.
Last time you were here.
Exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. You don't want me back. Just tell it. It's fine.
It's Saturday. It's fine.
Oh, it's Saturday. Yeah, but all the other nights when I'm up till midnight, yeah, you want me gone. Just tell the truth.
Because I work, Broke Joe.
See? Connie don't want me back, guys. She wants me back when she wants me back. I've already ended a relationship with women who only want me when they want me.
We're all alike, aren't we?
What did you just say, ma'am?
I said we're all alike.
Oh,
all
God.
women.
Yeah, y'all are. Y'all are the women. Women, they falter under pressure. They make the bad choices. Adam and Eve that's what Adam and Eve was about. It was about women being easily influenced by bad decisions. That's what it was about. Y'all bit the apple, not us. That's what it was about. Seriously. All the teachings of women history is can't trust that bitch. I'm not biting the apple. I love you.
Can't trust me.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. I'm not biting the apple. I never did that. So then how'd the perfect world go away, bitch? You didn't do it? I bet you Eve on the backside. Like the whole fucking world changed. Like she bit the apple and God came down was like, Eve bit the apple, bitch. We're changing all this. Abolishment to hell. And then after the whole perfect world changes, garden goes away and all this shit, Adam goes to Eve and is like, God said you ruined everything. And Eve was probably sitting there like, no, I didn't do it. I promise I love you. What? You love me? What are you talking about? God said you did it. No, I would never do that to you. I love you so much. You're so important to me. This is how Eve started it. I guarantee you. They do this from the beginning. They haven't stopped. They haven't stopped. Even Connie right now. No, I love you. I love you. Weekends. Oh, get out, bitch. Monday comes around. Oh, I love you, Chaz. Fuck you. It's gone. Monday night comes. We're talking to Broke Joe till 12 a.m. Tuesday, Sean's already telling me, yeah, Connie was mad you were up late last night. You know, you were really loud, you know. I was like, what? I was loud. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want to stay here. Y'all wonder why I ain't back. I'm just telling you.
Oh.
Well, you need to come back. We need to get some shows going. With the Continental.
Only on the weekends.
Get the Continental fire back up again.
Only on the weekends.
Give me some earplugs.
Oh, I can give you an earplug if you want to start an OnlyFans, and I can film it, you know.
In your dreams.
Hey, old people need porn too. You know, how insecure do you think old people are jacking off to like 20-year-olds? I'm just saying.
Is he calling me old?
You are defined as, okay, we'll call you mature. That's what you like to be called, old, mature, or mature?
Mature.
Are you into the granny porn category yet, or no?
Well, we do have 9 grandkids, almost.
There you go. So now you're in granny porn, so we can't call you mature. We can't. We gotta find the right category to put you in before we make any of this, you know.
Cougar?
I would name it like the title. If I was to make a video, I gotta title it like, if I was to film you and Sean doing dirty acts, I'd have to title it like mature giant titty woman banged by Asian Kyle Larson lookalike. That might sell. We get some clicks. Or we could put like Caitlin and Kyle 50 years later. Ride the train.
Oh my God.
You're crazy.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah. This indica, it's called indica. It's keeping me going.
In the couch?
No. Only if I come back to Knoxville. That's how I end up on the couch.
In the couch.
In the couch. Indica. Anyway. All right, we'll let you go.
All righty.
All right. Thanks for spending 3.5 hours on the show.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night.
Fuck you, bitch.
Hey.
Yeah. See, they're laughing. Why couldn't you do that, Kyle? Why couldn't you have done that? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, here's the scene. Here's the scenario. It is 420, so we have to do it for, I don't know, whatever purpose it is. Hold on. This is the legal. It's got 0.3%, 0.3% of 49 THC in this. It is 420 in America. Trump is president, and Snoop Dogg is a fan. Although, Snoop Dogg and Kid Rock are like clones, bro. Have y'all seen that? Hold on. Let me pull that up. Dude, when you see this, it's hard to unsee it. It is hard to unsee it, bro. But Kid Rock is a white Snoop Dogg. Look at this. once you see it, you kind of can't unsee it. Like if you put that hat in that angle, dude, Kid Rock is Snoop Dogg. I bet you they're blood related. These are lizard people here. These are fucking lizard people. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to subscribe to the video. PayPal links, Venmo, much appreciated if you could send those. Brett, hold on. We actually got Brett on Brett Milkovich. He is on the top right of the screen. He is one of those premium supporters. So if you send, I think it's like, what, $50 a month? Yeah, $50 a month. You could get your name personally up at the top. A different Brett, not Brett Fisher, who's coming from Australia. But we don't know how that's going to go. We don't know how that's going to go. Oh, God, the gold coin Continental. All right, we got to go now, or we're going to not wake up tomorrow, and we could be in trouble with the big boys. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. As always, be sure to subscribe, and we will hopefully, after that last conversation, see you next time. Bye, ladies and gentlemen.